And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, cool cat and kittens out there, to episode number 67 of No Bucks Given right here on the Horny Goat YouTube channel and, of course, the Horny Goat Podcasting Network, where you can listen to us on your favorite podcasting platforms on the audio level. It is the show No Bucks Given, the show that we talk about so much so often that we're the only ones who can tolerate each other talking to each other. You guys know the deal. We talk about everything. We talk about everything that we basically fucking want to, because I can't think of a better, more clever marketing way to pitch this fucking podcast. But anyway, we got the whole Horny Goat crew here. Once again, we got Basement, we got Heather, we got JP. How you guys doing this evening?
I don't give a fuck anymore. So just fucking bear with me.
Anymore?
My back is fucking destroyed from a 4-hour fucking drive and then a 15-minute excursion. I think that's how long it took.
Took a shit, taking a shit?
Excursion.
To drop the rental car back off.
Oh,
That
I thought you
was
meant to take a
2
shit.
hours. The other 15-minute excursion is when I got home. So, well, that was part of it. But hey.
Throwing backs out left, right, and center.
So today I was driving home. And if you've ever hurt your back, right? Sneezing is not one of those things that comes normal to everybody. You literally become like.
Well, no, sneezing happens to everybody. It's just, it sucks when your back's fucked up.
Right. I hate sneezing anyway, but this is like this. I want to kill myself. So I'm on the road home, and all of a sudden, and Heather can vouch for this. When I fucking sneeze, it's like 5 times in a fucking row, right? So I threw my back out this week at work, even though I didn't lift anything. I don't even know how the fuck I did it.
Sneezing.
I'm 50. I can't help it.
Sneezing.
So I'm just gotta sneeze, right? And I'm on a 2-lane highway, and semi trucks are driving up and down this highway, right? And I start sneezing. So this is what my sneeze. Now you aren't gonna be able to see it, but this is what my sneeze sounded like. Now imagine somebody having a back issue, and you got to keep your eyes open, and you're trying to keep the car straight, because when you blow, it's not from the sneeze, it's gonna be from the fucking back pain. This is what my sneeze sounded like.
Sounds like he's saying AIDS.
It sounded like somebody, a Down syndrome with Tourette's. All right, it was bad.
The idea of you trying to keep your eyes open while sneezing alone is fucking hilarious.
Easy. It's not easy. You're sitting there going. It's not funny.
Yes, it is.
My eyes are gonna pop out of the back of my head, and then I for sure thought I was gonna shit my fucking pants.
I mean, that's probably more plausible.
That shit hurts, man, and I don't know what the fuck I did, but we were watching. I had to lay down and watch fucking Backlash last night, and not because it was boring, but because my back hurt. So yeah, there's that. So that's how I'm doing. So I don't give a fuck.
So Heather, you're glad JP's back home?
Cheers.
You can't.
Yeah, cheers.
That's the biggest fucking truly I've ever seen in my life.
Like I said, I don't give a fuck. This shit is really fucking good.
Does this have an IV drip to it, or?
It should.
It's too sweet. It's too sweet for me.
The only thing that doesn't give me a fucking headache when I drink it anymore.
Water.
Alcohol.
It really is not water. It has 5% alcohol.
This fucking H2O, this H2O, man, just fucking it's a migraine city. Oh, by the way, yeah, JP can't laugh, although he's fucking screwed, because he's still hurt. See, you can't see it right now, but he's still laughing. He's like, oh, this fucking hurts.
Son of a bitch. All right.
You knew what you were walking into, well, limping into, in terms of this.
He knew what he was walking into when he got home, but still extracurricular activities happened.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. And more.
Yeah, the any I get that sentence, but the any more part is just
Yeah,
I'm having trouble.
did he?
I'll
When
give
were
a fuck
fucks
tomorrow
given?
when I get out of bed. Right now, I don't give a fuck.
I can't. This is much. It's causing me as much of a headache as a nice glass of water does. I can't hang up on that one word.
That's future me's problem.
That's a tomorrowism.
Future him is gonna be fucking paralyzed, Stephen Hawking.
Basement. How I know we were talking earlier. Work fucking just crushing your soul.
Yeah, work was super busy for me this weekend. Well, there was a reason. People just didn't fucking show up.
We were talking before Heather and JP got on here, and I said that it's because you work from home, and it's it's one thing if you're in an office and you can drive away from the dumpster fire and see it in your rear view mirror. It's okay.
I'm looking at the dumpster fire.
You're in it. You're in it.
His office is his office.
'Twas.
Yeah, whatever. It's done. Fuck it. I'm ready to go.
Oh,
17th wind. Boom.
boom.
I hear you, man. People are fucking numbnuts.
Fuck 'em.
We got some. We got
So
some.
today we do our graduation ceremony, and you know what you play at a graduation ceremony, right?
No sleep till Brooklyn.
Play Pomp and Circumstance.
Oh, okay.
What was Macho Man Randy Savage's entrance music? I looked at my boss and went, "Oh yeah, macho."
I would have paid good hard-earned money to see you
It
eat
was in
some,
front of the entire class.
to see-
You should have been sitting there and just fucking pounding back Slim Jims.
just in a robe and nothing else, just open for all the world to see. Cup of coffee in the big time, yeah. Cup of coffee. And
Okay, motherfuckers, there's laughing, letting me take a drink while my back is spasming. That's a new one. I just did. That just happened.
You're fucked.
yeah, you don't blame us for your fucking poor decisions.
Just try not to make me laugh. That's not gonna.
I feel like if we literally tried to not make you laugh, it would be fucking worse because we'd be so fucking stoic, knowing how we are. We're just and in the news today, this happened. You almost threw up. See, it didn't.
Aaron says.
I'm with him, man.
Is 21 years old.
Yeah, so his truck is 21 years old.
Holy shit!
Happy birthday, Is. We love you.
Happy birthday is.
Yeah, no, but my fucking car is a pile of shit. And every time I get it fixed, hey, it's $2,000. And turn around the next day, don't want to start.
No,
I gotta get into.
I actually have to because this year alone I will have spent a little bit over $3,000 on it, and it doesn't work.
We had a van.
Yeah, bye.
We had a caravan that we were it was fucking duct taping it together. It was a fucking old car. We're it's fine. Oh, the motor in the automatic sliding door doesn't work. It's fine. It still passes. It's fine. And then the motor just went. I'm cool. I think it's time for a new car.
The thing is, my car is not heavily used. It's just old.
Yeah.
Which sucks
well.
because it's an 06.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
So it's an older car, but it only has for me it would be 165 to 170,000 kilometers. It hasn't been used that much. It should. Most cars here, you should get 250, 300. It's a Honda.
This is only the second car I've paid off. I've had in my entire life. The car I have now. I was allowed to drive my mom's car. You know what I mean. Whatnot. I never really needed a car because the army always transported me everywhere. And
I always needed a car until now.
right,
by hand.
So I had a 2003 Chevy Malibu.
Which caught fire.
I thought that was new. No, I just said, you know what? Hashtag fuck you, fuck face. We're done with you.
Is that but he still didn't care anymore. Yeah, he still cared.
Hashtag fuck you, fuck face. You use that in a regular sentence sometime.
Creative.
All right. And then just this 2000. So I've paid off 2 cars.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had other cars, but
That's the number of cars I've totaled. Go ahead.
Well, I had 3 cars. Pardon me. I had a 2001 Honda Civic that I drove forever. I mean, I took that on fucking trips to fucking Kansas City, and I fucking made it. And then I had this Malibu, and then the Elantra that I got now. But it's about ready to.
I needed a new car because the good old Kia Soul just got
demolished.
I had a
exercised.
It kept you alive.
Well,
I had a Kia Rio. I had a Kia Rio as a rental.
The rental car.
I could see JP's face excited to just say the name of that car.
Yeah, Rio. I had an Elantra, and I had the Honda Accord that I have now. The Honda Accord has been pretty solid, but it's just fucking time. The Elantra was garbage. This was before like Hyundai like reinvented their fucking vehicles. This was like the first fucking batch of Hyundais.
Hyundai looked like an Audi.
Yeah.
It was a crap vehicle.
I have an
It
Innie.
died in the middle of the road and almost got killed.
I have an Innie. But I had Hyundai Sonata, then a Mitsubishi Galant.
Oh my god, how the fuck did you fit in that?
What, the Galant?
It's a Mitsubishi.
Well, I don't know what. I've never seen a Mitsubishi.
Hey, I fucking hey, you fucking met me. I fit in the fucking Kia Soul, so I mean, come on.
The Kia Soul is bigger on the inside than it looks.
The Mitsubishi Galant looks like a fucking old fucking cop car.
It ran like one.
Speaking of Yugos, got a story for you. When I was in Haiti, you know, the people down there, you know, poor fucking country, right? Didn't have fucking doors on their fucking car. And where we were at, there's like a really quick turn. They didn't have a speed limit. They go, you know, however fast, like over the speed limit of what it probably should have been, 10 miles an hour. Well, this Yugo didn't have. That's the kind of cars they drove there. This Yugo didn't have.
It's like self-explanatory. You go.
I went around the fucking corner and he flew out of the car. It was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. I mean, it was bad. We had to go clean it up and shit. But I'm just saying, it was like. Initially, it was funny as fuck, and then it wasn't so funny because I'm over there picking up his eyeballs and shit. It wasn't great.
What the fuck? What?
Oh yeah, man.
He flew
Hold
the
on.
car big time.
Hold on.
When I
You
was in the army.
Yep.
Was in the army.
Uh-huh.
We were sitting on the fucking corner of a street, right?
Yes.
Just waiting.
Yep.
Right? And down in Haiti, you know how fucking poor that fucking country is, right?
I'll take your word on it.
This Yugo had no doors on the driver's side.
Uh-huh.
And this motherfucker was in the corner. I mean, you take it and you go over 10, you're.
I assume he also didn't have a seatbelt on.
Nope,
Likely, yeah.
nope, didn't have a seatbelt on.
Or goggles.
Fucking
So he-
went around the fucking corner
So was
and
he retarded?
He was trying to Tokyo drift around
He
the
was trying to
corner.
talk because they didn't have a speed limit, so this motherfucker's just fucking.
More like Tokyo shit, but go ahead.
But we ended up having to clean up this guy and his mess.
Oh, the way I just heard like I heard the phrase like I caught an eyeball in my hand or something like that. I'm like, what? Wait, did something fucking happen that I like completely missed? But okay, no, it's.
You know what the ironic thing was? I worked for a hospital.
Your bedside manners must have been impeccable.
Yeah, I
was
could
the
not.
doctor. I mean, I had to.
Still, I would like. I mean, if I was in the hospital, you're probably the last person I want to see.
I sit there and tell you jokes all day.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Fuck
Here's
up!
the thing: you're stage 4 cancer. It's like, no. This gif is great. Why did he have fucking 2 balloons in his trunk?
Do you think I'll live, doctor? Here's the thing.
I'm having a.
I don't give a fuck. And then he just walks out.
You fuck face. Holy shit.
That's $1,000. Now hashtag fuck you fuckface.
You
Oh
walk
my
into
God.
the ER. Look at this Sasquatch looking bitch.
That's the dean of medicine. Oh well, I'll see myself out.
Oh,
How
man.
do you have a galaxy party?
No, I hate you.
You plan it. I heard that one.
It's all right.
He's like Patch Adams.
By a 22-year-old woman. I'm telling you what, I didn't think them kids were cultured. By God, they are.
Somebody recently commented on my weight loss, JP, and I told them, I just my secret is that I put a piece of bread on my head.
You make me laugh.
No.
What is wrong with you?
Well, wait. Oh no, they asked what for. I said, well, it's a loaf-at diet.
I can't with you today. All
I
right?
can't.
You
I
just
fucking
told me-
hate
whoa,
you
hold on.
Any day. I fucking hate you all.
Stop that.
Stop it. All right, moving on.
I know there's shit that needs to be said, but good.
Does there shit need to be said?
We could just keep going on this track here.
Yeah, I'm not complaining, but I guess I know we talked about it ad nauseum because we watched it with each other, but I guess talk a little bit about Backlash itself.
We haven't had a show since Backlash.
Can we? I want to review this shit so bad right now.
You know what? Cody put in the Speak Your Mind chat here. He's like, you guys want to watch fucking Backlash?
I saw that.
Watch party? I looked at it today. I'm like, oh,
I
fuck,
did.
man.
Shit. Here's the thing.
I didn't see it until I fucking logged in today.
Yeah, I didn't
Sorry.
either.
Sorry.
But anyway, go ahead.
Go ahead, too. Backlash was okay. Pretty good.
I thought it was serviceable.
good.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't.
You thought it was serviceable?
Yeah, I didn't hate it by any stretch.
I mean, Bianca Belair needs to go service her husband. That's all I'm gonna fucking say.
I think
That
he
first
services
match
her.
was god-awful. Look, here's the thing
I
with
think it's,
Ah.
the first match wasn't
One.
god awful. I don't agree with that. It was an okay match, but it was like one side of it was terrible.
Yeah.
So what I mean is, I don't hate Bianca Belair. Let's get that right.
But here is everything I hate about Bianca Belair.
However, they need to change her character. Like,
Well, she needs to grow as a character.
Well,
she has
that's
not
true.
grown at fucking all.
Turn
that
her
fucking-
heel. Turn her heel. Turn her heel.
now,
It's so badly needed. It's not even funny.
Io Sky carried that match. But the problem with it is Bianca Belair was trying to lead it. She felt she was in charge because she was a champion.
You ain't ready, honey.
If
She's
she
so
would have let
robotic.
Io Sky lead that match, it would have been so much better. That's all I'm saying. I don't hate Bianca. She just needs to, number one, learn facial fucking expressions.
Oh,
You
wait,
know,
where's this going?
smile when your arm's at a fucking 90-degree fucking angle off your fucking shoulder.
I think I say learn facials.
It's
Hey,
like,
Chair.
you know what I mean. We talked about it last night. She smiles at everything.
So yes, her facial expressions weren't right. Her continuity in selling something was terrible. Like, and the way she sold was the same every time. Hold the arm and grimace. It's never like the one time she tried to sell that she couldn't do a move, she almost fucking killed her competitor.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really like, I mean, the match. Looking at it from like a point of view where you're not gonna, if you're a fan of Bianca Belair and you don't want to nitpick her style, you'll probably like that match because it was well executed enough. It's just I'm not a fan of like WWE. Just like they'll promote somebody because of their look or because of political things in the background,
Yeah.
and not necessarily like promote somebody that actually has the talent to do what wrestling is at its core.
Right.
And I mean,
the women's division, let them fucking wrestle. The guys I've seen wrestling sometimes, and I know I want to see wrestling, and that's a given. What I mean is, the women just need to not fucking worry about what they look like and just get in the ring and fucking wrestle. Beat the shit out of each other. Do what they did during the Attitude Era. Don't act like a fucking goddamn.
I find it funny too because exactly what you just said is for the longest time the women in wrestling were like, "Man, we are not the divas. We're not just about our sex appeal." And then they start wrestling, and people become fans of their actual wrestling. What happens? They literally revert back to being fucking divas and talking about their sex appeal. So it's entirely on them, not the industry.
You are correct.
And that's when I gave up on it. This match, however, I like that they gave them time. I just don't like the fact that Bianca Belair, it's kind of like you said, she kind of leads at times, and her wrestling style, she reminds me of fucking John Cena almost.
When he
Like
first
this-
started, yeah.
Like this robotic, like going through the motions, and a good athlete, but nothing looks real.
When she came out, because this could have been one of those swerve matches, and I would have fucking popped for it, big time. Not because I hate Bianca Belair, but
Yeah,
when Bianca Belair came out, you knew she was winning just by her mannerisms. You can tell. She does, if she's winning, she does the exact same thing every time. If she doesn't, then she's probably losing. One of these times they need to swerve it, because you can tell when she's she's gonna win. Her mannerisms are that robotic that every single time she can't sell.
You also don't book a match to have her basically being like selling an injury throughout with bunny ears, only to have her also get to the end and have like dominate multiple people. Like you can't have both. And WWE does this. They like anytime they like get somebody that they really like, that's either not very competent in ring, like they don't got the storyline telling in ring, they make them into like Superman.
Yeah.
An unstoppable force, and no matter what happens to them, they just shake it off, and that's that. So it's so boring, and it happens so many times in WWE. It's the only way they seem to know how to book somebody who shouldn't be booked where they are in the position they're in.
It's Vince Foster with the whole thing.
And I do blame WWE for that.
I'm stupidly optimistic that things will change slowly over time with the booking. I
was just gonna say, if you were watching the match, the crowd started out pretty even, and then by the end of it, they were booing Bianca and cheering Io.
Right.
Which I want so bad. That is the character change that I'm looking for.
So I said turn her heel. I was going to say was, I will admit, though, that since Triple H has taken over the book, quote-unquote, air tags, the women's division's been a hot piece of shit. It's not been that great. It has not been that great. It is like people just for the thing is like, you know, people want to be like, oh, Triple H is doing a great job booking.
Say something,
but it's just I'm just saying, like, that's the one criticism I'd have of his booking is like the women are not that they haven't done a good job of booking the women. So
the thing is, they're not.
Where is it?
What wrestling fans need to understand, and I'm talking directly to the females. I'm not being a sexist fucking pig. It's gonna come off sounding like I am. And Heather knows that I love women's wrestling. However,
so much that you didn't fucking sign
don't try to feed me something that it's not. It's not great in wrestling. Some of them can wrestle. This is why Charlotte and Becky, and I will even go so far as to say Thunder Rosa.
I thought you said Thunder Thighs for some reason.
They're the ones you want to showcase. Give me fucking wrestling. Don't give me, oh, I wonder what my hair looks like. I don't give a fucking shit. Like, why should I care what a woman looks like in the fucking ring?
Well, I mean, there's obviously like selling points to it, but the thing that pisses me off is WWE did kind of go that way, and for a year or so in NXT, you did get women's wrestling where I'm like, I'm actually kind of excited to see this match. To be honest, like as truthful as I can be, women's wrestling historically has been fucking awful, god awful, unwatchable shit. So like when you did get to the point where they like you saw actual wrestling and not the fucking it's not a glamour show or whatever. But then you
Right.
get to the main roster, they take these women up, put them on the main roster, but they don't just take them. They take the Carmellas, the Dana Brooks, the people that can't wrestle, that really are focusing more on like their Instagram career than they are their wrestling, and you have that mixed bag. And some of the women aren't just going to focus. Then you got that focus shifting back to, well, how many Instagram followers can I get posing in a bikini?
Yep.
And like fuck the in-ring work, which like social media has been at the core of destroying most wrestling, and it's infected women's wrestling the worst. But that's also on them because
And I'm gonna say why they have boobies.
boobies.
They have boobies.
They have what now?
People want it. All they want to do is see these women naked. That is all they fucking care about. And they're waiting. That's what all these creeps, like Sasha Banks fans, they're just waiting for her to show a nude pic in fucking Twitter. That's why they follow her. So I'm sorry. I'm just the way it is. That's why women's fans are ruining women's wrestling because it
Well,
could,
like I mean, women's wrestling
could
was
be
getting
great.
there.
It
The-
could
the-
be great, but they won't allow. The fans don't. The fans don't want to see a 25-minute.
Man, it's the combination of the fans, yes, but also the women that have those fans. I have like basically prioritizing how much infatuation you can get and how good you feel off of that infatuation versus how good you feel off of performing on par with the men in the ring. And they prioritize the fucking idolization.
Yep. Which is part of the problem with Sasha Banks, because she wasn't getting that love. You know, that admiration. It started waning, and then she's fucking all crying, and it. If you're a women's wrestler and you want to wrestle, go there to wrestle. Don't go to WWE. Because if you know how to wrestle, you're only going to be used as a fucking. What's the word I'm looking for?
Well, the sad part is like,
You're not Charlotte Flair or Becky Lynch, and even them sometimes.
well, they all went that way too. The sad part is like, WWE had it, man. They had it in the palm of their hands,
Yep.
and they fucking ruined it. This is like WWE. I will usually blame the federation for ruining what happens with the product, but this is like a 50-50 split. And it sucks because it's like all that fight be like, oh, we're bringing women's wrestling where it should have been, just to revert fucking back. Oh my god! And at that point in time, I was like, I'm pretty much done with this. Anyways, this Bianca Belair versus Io Sky match, it wasn't terrible or anything. It's just Bianca Belair is too green to be in the position she's in. Same with
I
Rhea
agree.
Ripley. I don't know why they focus on. It's like, oh, we just got this real good talent at 20 years old. Let's throw out the older talent and put all the focus on the younger ones, even though the older ones brought that shit to the table.
And the funny thing is, they do the exact opposite with the men.
Yeah. If there's a male legend that wants to come back for another run, i.e. Edge,
Or Goldberg.
the fucking 20-somethings are said, yeah, you can wait till later. We got this one now to bring us the views now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It's a problem with the business as a whole, but I feel like it's so unrewarding to the employees. And this is what I was saying during this match. I'm like, if I was Io Sky, I'd be pretty pissed off because not only are you better in every facet in ring than Bianca Belair, you've got a unique look, you've got a fan base, you've got everything, just not the opportunity.
Her style for the women's division is also unique.
Yeah.
She's one of the very few that I can buy her doing a frog splash. You know what I mean? She's that good.
She's a good wrestler. Man or woman, she can wrestle. This is where like that's what you need to promote to like get the fucking division off the ground.
I will tell you right now, top 5 wrestlers in WWE are Io Sky, Asuka. If not 1A, 1B, you could flip flop those two. Then you got Charlotte, Becky, and then Bailey.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that.
As far as wrestling, as far as character, and you know where I'm going with this, when it gets to the Hall of Fame, they're gonna put Io Sky in there, but she'll be an afterthought when they do. Asuka deserves it already.
Yeah.
Charlotte will be there. Becky will be there. Bailey will be there. And so,
Sasha will
and
fucking
so
be there.
will Liv fucking Morgan. That's how they view women's wrestling.
But yeah, Backlash is pretty solid.
Well, I mean, outside of that match, the only really
really good.
Backlash had most matches I find were serviceable, except for the Damian Priest Bad Bunny, which is weird because you rewind time like 5 years ago, and I would say I never want to see a fucking celebrity match ever in my entire life. And the
then
fact
you get
that
two celebrities that one of which nobody fucking liked to begin with and shocked the hell out of everybody.
I will say with with Logan Paul and Bad Bunny, the thing is they went into it looking to earn respect. It wasn't just a payday. So they learned how to wrestle. They are decent enough athletes in themselves. Logan Paul is probably kind of like a super athlete, to be honest. No matter what people think about him, whatever, he's probably a shit person, but he's a fucking athlete for sure. Bad Bunny though, this whole match and this interaction goes to hitting the nostalgia of the past, having the crowd reactions because of where they are and who they bring out, and I can't say enough good things about Damian Priest. He made this match.
He was the all-star of the event. He was the guy that deserves a bonus for being that guy.
He definitely earned his spot in the tournament.
I thought everything that Damian Priest did was spot. I mean, I would probably say perfect. He did everything that you want to see.
A couple of the moves that they did in the ring, you couldn't really tell right away that Damian helped him do those moves. Yeah. Which is what you want.
It's Damian Priest. Like, no, you might not see it. He's carrying Bad Bunny through it, and the fact that you want to talk, this is the exact comparison that I probably made that last night. Is look how Damian Priest sells injury versus Bianca Belair. Yes. It's the biggest difference in the world. Yeah.
So, Aaron, I'm going to tell you this. I think Bad Bunny is better than Logan Paul. And I will also say this, WrestleMania 40, Logan Paul versus Bad Bunny, book it.
I don't know if I want to see that.
It's going to happen.
I just feel like both of those guys benefit from a ring general being in there with them. You take that away, I
will only say...
I get it. However, just saying. Go ahead.
I see a tag match with them both being featured.
I only think Logan Paul is a slight notch above Bad Bunny, only because he knows how to get heat.
He's also more athletic, and it does lend itself to what he can do in the ring.
What are you laughing at?
I think Hunter. Nut.
Yeah, I was trying to trying to say like nudge, like I was trying to find the right word. God damn, this monster's fucking.
I think Logan Paul is better than Bad Bunny, but it's just physically based on like their physicality.
Yeah.
For me.
I'm just saying.
I was gonna say about this match 3 fucking words: mother fucking Carlito.
Yes.
So last night we were sitting there watching. I said, "You got." I told you're gonna pop for Bad Bunny's match. You're going to, because if you don't, then you're not a wrestling fan. I'm sorry. Am I talking too much?
No.
I'm talking too much. I'm sorry.
No, actually, I forgot I put that up on the wall.
Oh, well, Merry Christmas. So,
It's May.
I forgot where I was. What did I say?
You're not
You're talking too much.
I was gonna pop it. What happened with Bad Bunny?
The match with Bad Bunny.
Carlito.
I said motherfucking Carlito.
Oh, Carlito. Yeah, I told everybody on the call. I said you're gonna love what happens in that match, and a lot of it had to do with. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. A lot of it had to do with wrestling.
Nut.
It was a great. I thought it had a little of everything.
Mm-hmm.
To include, and that is how you book a street fight.
Yeah.
I love that massively pregnant pause.
Think about it. That's how you book a street fight in my eyes.
Now, I think it's Kratos in the chat said that should have been the main event.
I don't think
My only question is, and I don't think it. Well, I mean, I kind of liked its placement because it helped the show from dragging. I think if it wasn't where it is and it was the main event and you replaced Cody and Brock there, it would have dragged a little bit more. It helped with keeping the pace.
Right. So
But also, do you think it being placed as the final match would have set a higher expectation for the match, and people would have not been as blown away with it?
No, God, no.
Because it's main eventing.
No, absolutely not. And
I think the match would have been about as good as it was if it was in the middle of the show. I was fine with where it was at.
the best crowd reactions of the entire night all were evolved around that match.
Yeah.
That's what this match. That's what it was all about.
And if you really look back at like the moments, because I've rewatched several moments from the match just to see the crowd reaction. The biggest pops were Bunny's entrance, Carlito's entrance, and Savio Vega. Like those were the three three of the biggest pops.
I would say that Carlito was the bigger pop though.
Somebody out there mentioned too that Hogan never even got the pop that Carlito got last night.
The thing is, too, I would say no matter where they went, Carlito would have gotten a pop.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean.
Right.
That's what I mean. I think Carlito is. No, I wasn't even expecting, because when we watched it before you guys, and I went, "What the fuck?" When he came out, I'm like, "Holy fucking shit!" They actually.
And the fact that he looks like a fucking main eventer.
Wow.
Beast mode.
I saw.
Right, but I'm just saying, I was never expecting to see him ever again.
Yeah.
In a WWE ring. This show last night was Triple H.
Oh yeah.
I don't have anything to do with this show.
So
fucking wondering.
So real quick, the point I was making about the pops is that the pops were the biggest on things that were not necessarily in-ring match stuff. They weren't moves or moments in the ring. They were moments of characters or like wrestlers getting their fucking spot in. Personally, I would have preferred the Bad Bunny Damian Priest match being the main event on this one just for tonight, and because like look what happened with the Cody Brock stuff later on. Even
I liked it.
No, but my point is that like everyone was defeated by like the time the main event got around. Like they weren't even like anywhere. Like you weren't gonna match that type of like level of like fucking magnetism in terms of like the crowd.
There's 2 American-born boys. That's why.
Yeah, which I get.
I get what he's saying, and I do kind of agree. You don't want like a crowd stealing match midway through if you're not gonna have an attempt at a crowd stealing match at the end. Because the last match did not really do that.
Is it cheap heat? It's absolutely cheap heat. I'm not denying that whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's fucking like Puerto Rican,
It's
Caribbean.
It's only working for this specific show.
Correct.
They've been there. This is the first time. If it was like another Canadian show and they brought out fucking Canadian wrestlers, it's like okay, whatever. You know, it happens every time they fucking come here. Natalia.
Shut up, Brett.
I will say this. I don't mind the best match blowing.
I don't mind. I know what you're saying. He doesn't mind the best match not being the main event.
I don't.
Yeah, but I feel like.
So here's the thing.
In ring, I don't mind the best match.
Mania 3. What was the best match of the night?
But that was in ring. This is in ring stuff.
In ring, it probably stole the show, but wasn't.
I think Cody and Brock actually had a better match in ring than Damian Priest and Bad Bunny.
Yes.
Agreed.
My point is that, like, I'm not disagreeing that the matches themselves in terms of bell to bell, but the pops themselves were from that match, were from the Damian Priest Bad Bunny match, but they weren't anything that was like part of the actual choreography. Right. It was Bad Bunny's entrance, Carlito and Savio, which, I mean, hey, that's fine. No problem. Crowd will fucking ape shit, and it comes across so great on TV, and it just makes everything look fucking knocking it out of the park. And I mean, the way it ended with, like, you know, the LWO in the ring and everything like that, and just everybody fucking cheering and fucking go crazy. Carlito gets a spot, Ray gets a spot. It's just one of those, like, it's how do I say this? Have you ever been to a house show?
Nope.
No?
Yeah, well, if you've ever stayed like after a Raw or SmackDown, and that kind of shit happens, where it's
the dark match main events where, like, they have to do like a babyface finish and, like, everybody leaves happy. I'm not saying in a bad way, but that's exactly the vibes I got at the end of that match. It's like, should have just ended it on that note and boom, close out, send it home. Because Cody and Brock would have gotten a little bit more attention, and then I guarantee if you switch the matches, the exact same level of energy you would have gotten from the entire crowd for Damian's and Bunny's match.
I also feel like because the final match wasn't really for a championship or anything, this was kind of the event where you could have swap that out. But I'm also looking at it like from a viewer that doesn't live in Puerto Rico or might not know fucking Savio Vega. It's a double whammy on Cody because he loses at Mania and then he's mid card at the next pay-per-view.
I think Triple H wanted to feature in this because it was considered a double main event, but there was one match in between.
Yep, that's
Well, the other main event was supposed to be
They needed that buffer.
Triple H was just trying to he likes featuring actual storylines of what they're basing their weekly shows around. That's why he did what he did. That's why Brock and Cody finished last.
I personally do not have any issue with the booking of Backlash. Sure, you could have swapped it, but the grass is always greener. And I'll say that I never really I didn't have a problem with the way that they had booked this. I did like, and this is the one thing I did really like. They gave Cody and Brock some time. They get Brock to not wrestle the fucking 5 finishers at the start of the match fucking match, and I finally got that.
The thing about this is it was the second shortest match of the night.
What, the Bad Bunny one?
No. Brock and Cody.
Yeah, but the thing is, the other matches, some of them were like teetering on being too long. Yeah. Except for the triple threat.
So what I'm saying is for what they did in the short amount of time, I thought it served its purpose.
You thought it?
Yeah, overall, I think Backlash was a decent pay-per-view. Yeah. It gave me everything I kind of wanted. Nothing was terrible.
I would say that I'm bored with the bloodline. I just want to fucking take these cans and shove them up my ass sideways watching them sometimes.
I'm like, where's your ass?
Fucking, I hate long stories. I tell long stories, and I hate myself for telling long stories.
I don't mind long stories. I just feel like you can't have too many long stories going at once. You can't have Roman Reigns be a 17-year champion while Bianca Belair is 16-year champion. Like, you're not telling a story. You're just fucking keeping the belt on them. Eventually, the story needs to break, and the breaking point was months ago for Roman Reigns. So whatever.
Well, on top of that, it doesn't help that you have the Roman Reigns title story, you have the Bloodline story going on, and then you got Bianca's story going on. It's just like, what the fuck?
And then you got Liv Morgan getting fucking water thrown in her face.
It's truly a pain in the ass.
It's pain in my lord.
I see that can crushed. No, Backlash was solid. So, I mean, I guess this might as well segue into the next part that I was going to mention here, too, which is... and we've kind of talked about it last week when we went in nauseam with a lot of wrestling stuff, but they did announce the 12 participants for the World Heavyweight Championship tournament, which I have written down. Where the fuck?
I'm already disappointed in what I already know what they're doing.
The thing is, I like the participants. I hate the fact that it involves a brand
SmackDown?
the
Yeah.
championship's not going to end up on.
I hate the fact that one person is missing out of that fucking.
Yeah, the one of the most important. Well, the fuck the Miz.
Yes. Yes. He does not deserve another fucking title run.
So Drew McIntyre did get drafted.
Yep.
So he has to have a contract. He's not going to.
His contract is almost up.
I know that.
Right, and he hasn't been on TV since he was lost at WrestleMania.
And I
I
understand.
feel like where is this guy gonna go? Like if he leaves WWE, he's such a WWE talent. The like
Yeah, he's not going.
he goes to AEW, he'll be 1 in 1 trillion that don't get featured. He goes to ROH or TNA, gives a shit.
So for those who are paying attention, in the Chizat, let me pull up the list of the people who are in there. So the way that works is that Triple H said Raw, there'll be 2 triple threat matches. The winners of those triple threat matches will face one-on-one in the main event of Raw, and they're going to repeat the same process for SmackDown. The winners of the Raw winner and the SmackDown winner will face up against each other in Jeddah at Night of Champions to crown the World Championship.
I don't like the triple threats. I don't like Jeddah. I don't like the things I don't like is we're gonna have a tournament, but it's gonna be a triple threat tournament, and then it's gonna culminate in a fucking Saudi Arabian sex fest.
So let me blow through the participants first. I'm going to say one quick thing about what I'm pretty sure is going to happen tomorrow. So on Raw, you have Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, The Miz, and Shinsuke Nakamura. On SmackDown, you have Edge, Bobby Lashley, U.S. Champion Austin Theory, AJ Styles, Sheamus, and Rey Mysterio. The thing I'll just note here, there is no fucking way that Brock is not going to interfere in Cody's match on Raw. I'm predicting it's going to go down to Rollins and Cody on the main event of Raw, and Brock will cost Cody.
Are we potentially looking at Rollins and AJ Styles in Saudi Arabia?
I mean, you could do Rollins Edge. This might be a fucking bold toss here.
I don't think Seth Rollins is winning. I don't think Edge is winning.
I think Rollins is winning.
I ain't Cody. I ain't gonna put
Nope.
the belt on Cody.
I don't think so.
I
after
think
the ending of the last match.
I think after the finish of what happened at Backlash, I think it's going to be. I think the main event of Raw is going to be Seth and Cody, and I think Brock is going to fuck over Cody, and that'll give Rollins the punch ticket to Jeddah.
I could see Cody and Brock having kind of like a feud that leads until like SummerSlam or
It's gonna go
something.
into SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Read on it today.
and it might not be for the title.
I think the reason why the Miz is in there is Brock's gonna come out in F5 and 35 fucking times.
You know what I might see happening? I might see Brock. We might see Brock try to fucking ruin Cody, and through adversity, he still moves forward.
No.
They are going with Cody versus Brock.
But I think no. Well, I don't know. They could do Cody versus Brock at Jeddah.
No. So he's saying he thinks I don't even care about Cody versus Brock. That's because to me it just serves as nothing more as a setup for Brock versus Roman. No,
Brock
they
will
are
not
not.
lose to Roman again.
They will not wrestle at WrestleMania. So it's going to be Cody will be at WrestleMania 40 wrestling Roman Reigns. I'm telling you.
And they said it on the on that Monday after Mania that Brock Lesnar cannot face Roman Reigns again by some contract.
Because the last time they fought, they made the deal where if Brock lost, he can't. Yeah. So I think.
Let's see. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say real fast. I still think Rollins is winning the world title across the board. As far as who I'd like to see him face on SmackDown and like at the pay-per-view,
AJ Styles.
AJ would be a fucking banger of a match. Although I wouldn't be opposed to Lashley either. I'm not.
I kind of hate the idea of Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. That's Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
To me, it's such
Fair enough.
it's such like because it takes place on the other side of the world and it's a different time zone.
You don't deserve it.
It's a different time. No, it's a different time zone. So it's like, what the fuck? Oh, here's the show at 2 p.m.
You don't deserve
Great.
it.
It could be in the afternoon at least.
Yeah.
It would be funny if Brock won it though.
I
That's
am the
exactly-
Senate.
I mean, I could see what I could see happening is eventually Cody, if he doesn't get it now, him getting it like as the second person to own that belt and have him lose it due to, I could see him like just having Roman Reigns music playing. He gets fucking small packaged.
I'm telling you, Brock is gonna fuck over Cody tomorrow, and that will set up a rematch at Jeddah. And Seth Rollins, I'm gonna make my prediction that Seth Rollins is gonna go on to be the Raw representative, and he's gonna win the fucking world title. He's gonna win the world title at the pay-per-view.
If it's Cody versus Brock rematch at Jeddah and fucking AJ Styles and Seth Rollins, fucking Saudi Arabia's WrestleMania.
Cody, okay, so here's the thing.
3.
And
No.
you may not care about it, and it doesn't serve a purpose. It actually does, because if you're paying attention to the Cody story, it's all about his redemption.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Uh-huh.
This is why he will beat Roman at WrestleMania 40.
Okay.
I'm just explaining to Cody.
Not Cody, it's Alpha.
Or Alpha, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
How do you think Goldust? Not Goldust, but Dustin Rhodes will come back?
He's getting ready to retire.
He's going to
But
be
I could see
full time at the school soon.
I could see him come back for an angle to be like in my brother's corner for his win, or for like
If his
because
contract's
the
up.
bloodline is attacking them. I could see him be there.
Yeah, if his contract's up, then fuck it. You know, it just depends on when his.
Paying him his fucking.
I could see Roman Reigns like beating fucking Goldust into the hospital.
I don't see him coming back as Goldust though. I see him coming back as the natural.
I just, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The guy.
I got a fun.
I think he's known enough to where
He can come back as the natural, and it wouldn't be as much of a downfall as it was when they tried it the first time.
He'd come back as his the character he was when he faced Cody at AEW. Just the guy in the fucking jeans.
Oh yeah. Oh god. I got a fun little thing to do something a little bit different on the show here. So, while researching everything for the world title, now I'm going to be very clear about this because I know there's so many fucking championships in the lineage and shit. The WWE version of the World Heavyweight Championship, which existed from 2002 up until 2013, the big gold one they had.
Big gold belt.
Yes, that lineage. So starting when Triple H was awarded the title in 2002 to when Cena and Orton unified the belts right before WrestleMania 30. Okay. Out of the lineage of that World Championship, there are a total of 8 people who have held that championship who also never held the WWE Championship. Does anybody know who
Booker
those?
T?
That's one. List the 8. That's one.
I'd have to.
Nope, no looking.
No. I'd have to hear the question again.
Okay, so listen. So
People never held the WWE title,
right.
but have held the big gold belt.
Yep.
Dustin Rhodes, I don't think did.
Nope. Dustin never had. To be clear on the lineage.
Dusty, I mean.
Right. To be clear on the lineage, it's the WWE World. Yes. So it's
Not
when.
WCW. He's strictly WWE.
Yep,
From
so-
2002 to about 2013.
13.
There
Yep.
we go.
So
Booker T is one.
Booker T.
correct.
That's it.
There's a couple of trick ones in
I was
there.
thinking like I was thinking of people, but then I'm like,
Yep.
RVD held it, but I think he held the WWE
No,
Championship.
RVD never held the world title. He held the WWE, but he never held the world.
He never held. Yeah, he never held
Yep.
the big gold.
So the big gold and the WWE.
No.
Not the
Only
WWE.
the big gold.
Not the WWE.
How many?
Only the big gold.
Yeah.
He only held the big gold.
Right. How many people who have held the world title, which was in existence from 2002 to 2013, there's 8 wrestlers who have held that belt who never won the WWE Championship. Name 8.
fucking what's his fucking guy? The guy that made fun of Triple H for Big Nose.
Mm.
Alberto Del Rio.
Nope, Del Rio's held both.
Del Rio, I know it's hard.
Batista.
You know what? Like this.
Batista's held both.
That's gonna be tough for me because this is the part of
Yep,
wrestling I did
that's
not
why I
watch.
threw it out there.
I didn't watch from like 2000 to
God,
fucking
honestly,
2015.
I can't remember.
Well, JP's at a medical disadvantage.
The Miz has only held the WWE.
Correct.
Chris Jericho has held both. at the
Correct.
same time. He was the first one to hold both. at
Yep.
the same time.
Correct.
I'm sure there's like some shitty fucking
Oh, there's one.
Big Show.
Nope. Big Show has held the WWE Championship. Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. I
During then.
What's that?
I can't say Brock Lesnar
Nope.
because he what?
Nope. Brock never held the world.
What?
Brock never held the WWE version of the World Championship.
That's what I just said. He never
Right.
held the big.
Correct. Yep.
I'm just going through names.
That's all right.
Please don't.
I'm not.
Go through it silently.
Yeah.
No, I'm not speaking out loud.
Yes, you are.
Well, one
I
person.
mean, who was active in the company at that time?
So remember, 2002 to 2013.
I know Shawn Michaels has held both.
Yep. Sorry, I just looked at Heather's face.
I'm thinking, goddammit.
Well, she said do it in your head.
Who was the guy that they like pushed that just never went anywhere? Because I know
There's
there's
a
a couple of those guys.
there's a few in there.
Great Khali.
Yes, Kali is one of them.
Chris Benoit.
Benoit's another one. That's 3.
Eddie Guerrero? I'm kidding. Eddie Guerrero did.
Nope.
He held both.
No, he didn't.
No,
But
he held the WWE. He never held the world title in WWE.
Rey Mysterio.
Nope. Mysterio is a former WWE champion.
He is.
Did he hold the big gold belt though?
He did.
That's his first championship.
He held the title. He held the WWE championship for one fucking day. Not
Yeah.
even one
Yeah.
show.
Thank God
Yep.
for that.
So far, Booker T, Great Khali, Chris Benoit.
There's 8 of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 8. I was doing this as like a fun little thing. I'm like, oh, I think there's like I was thinking of a couple off the top of my head. I'm like, okay, I know those
Mark
3.
Evans.
Nope.
He's,
You're not-
he's
You're not listening to the question. I said
Who has only held the big gold?
from 2002 to 2013. That lineage. Yes.
leave me alone.
Then shut the fuck up. Oh God.
All right, I'll throw one out there. It's a big name too. Goldberg.
That's right.
Goldberg.
He had it, but never won it.
Yep. That's the big name. Is Goldberg.
Kane?
Nope. Kane's been WWE champion.
Won the WWE title.
Brian Himmelfarb says Mark Henry.
Himmelfarb is correct. He's got another one with Mark Henry. Mark Henry never held the WWE championship. He held the world title.
Sally fucking Magoo.
She doesn't fucking exist.
Well, he does in his mind. It's a dangerous place. So that's 5. We got Booker T, Khali, Benoit, Goldberg, Mark Henry. There's 3. And the 3 are kind of tricky. One of them is still. All right, I'll give a couple hints. This particular person.
David Arquette.
No. All right. This particular person is still with WWE to this day.
Do they wrestle still?
Yep.
You know how to make that go.
As soon as I say the next hint, it'll probably give it a fucking away.
So what's it?
Raven?
Nope. He won his. Actually, fuck. A couple of these people did this, but I'll go with this particular person. This one this person won their world title from Alberto Del Rio. And,
Shit.
hold on. Sheamus, no. Sheamus has held the WWE Championship, but Christian is one of the ones on the list. That wasn't the one I was hinting about, but yes, Christian is one of them, so that's 6. But the person I'm referring to is he did this via a cash-in and was arguably one of the most popular and biggest cash-ins.
Seth Rollins.
Nope.
No, he's held the WWE Championship.
Dolph Ziggler.
Yes. Ziggles.
Fashion gave it
Here to
away.
show the world.
Yep. So that's 7. There's 1 left.
Oh, hey. Then he's gonna find another one. Then he's
Now,
gonna
is this person still with WWE or no?
No.
Did they? Are they still wrestling?
No.
Is
There-
Carlito?
Nope. Carlito never won the world title. So just to recap, the 7 out of the 8 names: Booker T, Great Khali, Benoit, Goldberg, Mark Henry, Christian, Ziggler, and this last one is, I even fucking forgot about this one.
Ric Flair.
Nope.
Nope, he did.
There's 0 chance I'm gonna get this.
All right. This last one. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm such a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yes, this person still wrestles. No, they don't wrestle for WWE. They wrestle in AEW right now.
Oh, John Moxley.
No.
Dean Ambrose.
No, he held both.
Finger fucking good looking.
Can you give us any more details?
Dane Nakamura.
Nope.
No,
I'm
not in AEW.
trying to think. I'm trying to think of a way to give a hint without like giving it away.
AEW. Former
Is he
WWE.
a prominent figure on AEW or no?
His world title reign was clearly not very fucking memorable.
Daniel, no.
And I think, hold on,
Bryan?
all right, this is
No, Daniel Bryan had the WWE belt, right?
Yeah,
he had both.
He had the mind.
Okay, oh, this might be it. Kratos says Jack Swagger.
Kratos is correct.
Oh god.
yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. That fucking.
I was gonna say the last hint was gonna be he's the last person to win a Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania.
We the people.
Yeah, we the people. Jesus.
And then he cashed in and then had like a 2-week run because Vince didn't like the way he talked because he's got a lisp.
I
Yep.
didn't like the way he talked. Didn't like the way he wrestled. Didn't like anything about him.
I still don't fucking like.
Um,
I'm worried about what the fucking color of the fucking hat is on his head right now.
The last thing I wanted to talk about really quickly, wrestling wise, then we'll move on to. I cannot wait to talk about the fucking protests. Those are just fucking comically irritating. But I did want to talk. Actually, speaking about AEW, I did want to bring up one quick thing about AEW, which is the Wembley show.
Right.
And what's very intriguing is, and I know that a lot of people, we make fun of Tony Khan on here all the time. We make fun of AEW. We're an equal opportunity making fun of everybody on this program.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck, I gotta give him and AEW credit. Yeah, but fuck. But I gotta give him credit that according to Tony Khan, so just
No, it's according to Wembley as well. It's been confirmed.
okay, perfect, even better. They're aiming to do a mega show at Wembley Stadium in August, and as of right now have sold 60,000 tickets, 60,000 seats for the show.
Okay. Just go ahead. Keep
No, I'm
going.
just saying that just that feat alone, without announcing any matches, that's
I'm gonna tell you why.
pretty impressive. Go ahead.
It's wrestling in
So-
England.
Come on.
UK loves fucking wrestling.
The British fucking that's
They love violent sports, man.
It is weird though because like if you look at like strong style or the British strong style or whatever, it's pretty fucking different than AEW.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I think you take any wrestling show over there that may have Jay White, may have
Yeah.
Will Ospreay, may
Yeah.
have
Daniel Bryan.
Kenny Omega.
It's kind of like this WWE show in Puerto Rico.
Omega, he does not fit. He's a good wrestler, okay. He's up there. He's one of the best. Kenny Omega is one of the best wrestlers in the world. But over there, that is their shit.
Yeah.
New Japan.
Oh, no,
they know They know more about wrestling than we fucking do.
I agree. I'm just saying is that from a company perspective,
Oh,
it's
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
huge
Kudos
fucking
to
win for
you
them.
doing it, but it's an easy sell when it's something that they love.
but my point is, I think they could have. It's all about the name. If they hear names, oh, that guy's great. I gotta go to the show. That's their thing. It's like Japan.
True, but
It's similar. Like you're going so. Okay, it's not like when I say it's similar to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, it is not the like population-wise, it's not the same as fucking
Oh,
the
God,
entirety of the
yeah.
UK. But like you go to a place they haven't been before, and featuring something that there's fan base for, but they also just love wrestling in general. That shit's gonna sell out pretty much immediately.
oh
And,
no,
like, it's a good accomplishment, but it's also like
I
cheapy.
Call me now.
Cheapy.
I really got it.
I will say this because I do watch it weekly. All right, I watch it. It's on in the background, unless the Brewers are on, right? I watch it. Okay. I don't want people to say, "Oh, he doesn't watch it." No, I watch it. I will say, and it's few and far between. Tony does do some things right. He's like a cooked up version of Tony Russo. Vince Russo. He'll throw something at the wall every once in a while. It'll stick, and then he's like,
he doesn't continue it though.
he
That's the
doesn't.
problem.
He doesn't.
The one thing that
Where Triple H and Vince McMahon had the problem of continuing something for too long, Tony Khan is the complete fucking opposite. If it works, he'll do it once and then say, "All right, we're done with it."
No, dude,
The one-
he does he actually does. He keeps doing it. If you watch an AEW show, you will see John Moxley try to bleed in the middle of
He
every
doesn't try
show.
to bleed. He does bleed every show.
Yeah, he does. That's my point. And Tony Khan loves that shit. He's a fan of wrestling, but he does hit on some things. I know I give him a lot of shit because that fucking meme says everything about the guy. The GIF, whatever.
Yeah, the GIF. I'm not gonna take that shit anymore.
But I will give them. They are trying. They're just not.
The one thing I found with AEW that really turned me off from watching it was the fact that it certain things now in entertainment, in order to understand what I'm watching, I have to pay attention to all these third-party products that I don't want to see because I don't have all the fucking time in the world to watch 18 years of wrestling every month.
Yeah.
Like, tell me that if you want to expand on lore, I'll compare it to fucking Disney with Star Wars. If you want to expand on lore, then yeah, do so in other things. But if you're telling a story, tell the story in this alone. Don't fucking make me watch a show I don't want to see so that I understand what's happening in this show. That's the one biggest issue I had with AEW, and they did it a lot with Dark. It's like, well, this is the show we had when AEW first came around. This is our wrestling show. If you want to know why they're wrestling, check out this YouTube channel for 10 years. Eat my ass.
It's so horrible.
But so them getting 60,000, good for them. I'm not hating on them.
I'd rather there be competition than not.
Right. I mean, WWE. If WWE was to do this, they'd get the same. That's my point. They would probably have the same amount of tickets sold, and that says a lot for AEW. But again, do it here in the United States, and then come to Chris fucking Jericho and his infinite fucking with this motherfucker. I think he's got.
This is the other thing.
He literally is calling All In as we speak. Bigger than the Super Bowl. Like, what are you talking about?
He's retarded because AEW has this constant Napoleon syndrome.
Yeah.
It's like they pick fights with the bigger guy constantly, and it's not a good look. It was never been a good look for me because they won't shut the fuck up about being like, hey, we're competing with WWE. Meanwhile, WWE's like, I don't even know what the fuck AEW is. Just stop, focus on making good product and stop being like every little pat on the back or good job is also we're like WWE. You can't just be like, I'm happy for the company for selling out and slowly making their way to become like legit competition. But that's not acceptable. It's like, oh, they sold out. They're 100% legit competition. They're better than everything else. It's just, I fucking hate the fact that they're fast tracking what took WWE 50 years to do.
What,
And they're trying to do it in 3 years.
that was almost devastating. So the thing is, what I'm trying to get at, this motherfucker,
Here it is.
Tony Khan, tweets. Here's the thing. Tony Khan tweets out responding to some ESPN reporter and then saying to the effect, oh, and this is how you know he's got fucking WWE on the fucking brain. Because he said, oh, and tell your agent Nick Khan to kiss my ass. Like, okay, I appreciate him defending his. I can't say he's wrong because he should. That's exactly what he should do, right? But when you make that next statement, you're trying to pick a fight to make yourself look good by tweeting what you tweeted.
It's like Cody Rhodes breaking Triple H's fucking seat or whatever before he came. Like, that type of shit just annoys me because it's like you're trying to you're trying to get clout off of somebody that doesn't want to have anything to do with you, and it's just it's so immature in my mind. And like, yeah, it's wrestling, whatever, fuck, it's all immature. But like at the same time, it's like just stop, man, just stop. It's embarrassing. It's cringy to me.
Yep.
AEW is pretty cringy.
He constantly says, yes, we are competing. Meanwhile, their ratings have been below 800 now for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's just cringy.
He's constantly been
So,
over 1 million.
I want to tell everybody, if you and I listen to Jim Cornette. They give the quarterly numbers, for each show. The last time Kenny Omega main evented in AEW Dynamite, they finished the show, or that last quarter hour, because Kenny Omega was the main event, was under 800,000. They lost like 200,000 viewers. Nobody cares.
Kenny Omega's done nothing to make himself a draw. His star has fallen.
It has.
And he willingly accepted it falling.
To do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just not a draw. He's a great in-ring worker, but he's akin to like a much more fast-paced, hard-hitting fucking Cesaro.
But yeah, kudos to AEW for doing what they did.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, if you're excited to see this show,
well,
you don't know who's gonna be there. They could just throw some fucking wild shit that
doesn't make any fucking
sense.
So that's what I was trying to say earlier. You were saying like, oh, they're doing it because they throw names out there. I mean, well, technically speaking, they haven't really thrown out the names yet. You have an idea of who's probably going to be there.
What I'm saying is, and I know they haven't, but if you're honestly going to sit here and tell me they're not going to have those guys there, then why are you having 90,000 people show up? If the fans are expecting it.
Well, yeah.
That's why they sold so many fucking tickets.
Well,
but it's also, I think, like, sorry, go ahead, Connor.
I was going to say a quick little side note here, too, and this is the weird part of the whole thing. I don't think this is going to be on pay-per-view.
Yeah, it is. I think they did say it was.
No, they have a pay-per-view a week later.
See, this is why, again, what are you doing? Are you trying? He's booking just like they did in WCW. They're trying to get, because WWE just got back from England, right?
No, they're going to England.
No, I could have swore they just.
Clash at the Castle was 3 months ago.
Money in the Bank
Puerto
is
Rico 10 seconds ago.
Yeah, Money in the Bank is in London. That's in a couple months.
So they're upcoming. They're going to be.
Yeah.
Right.
So, of course he's.
I think he was thinking of Clash at the Castle.
That was back in.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. my point is, he's competing with WWE, thinking that he's not, but he is.
Well, like the thing is, like, isn't the thing is? Oh God, I'm turning. I think, yeah, so
Sketchy.
this isn't a pay-per-view, but is it just like an AEW regular weekly show? Dynamite?
No, the rumblings is that unless their pay-per-view schedule changes, which in all likelihood it could very well change, there's even rumblings that maybe this might be an event that is exclusively streamed on Max.
Is it a premium live event?
It's gonna be showcased somewhere.
What I'm getting at is,
Yeah.
this is exactly like they did with the fucking Goldberg winning the title the very first time. Remember when he beat Hogan?
I
disagree
with that.
That's what he's doing. Why?
I disagree with that. It's a totally different situation. All right. Okay. So with Goldberg and Hogan, right? They literally announced the match 3 days before Nitro with little to no build, and they sold out.
They had a pay-per-view the very following Sunday.
Correct.
Well, I'm just saying.
Right.
That's what he's equating.
I'm just equating it to it. I'm not saying they're the same thing. I'm not saying he's booking exactly like 100% right down the line with what they did. What I'm saying is
the scheduling of
even though it's not they're a week apart. I'm just pointing that out.
Although
if you're gonna have a big 40,000 seat show, put that shit on fucking pay-per-view. Don't put fucking Halloween Havoc or whatever match it was on fucking.
So just to make sure I'm clear too, it's assumed that it's going to be relatively soon, because usually they do Labor Day weekend for All Out, and All In, which is the name of the Wembley show, is August 27th. So it's like literally the weekend before.
All In was literally their very first pay-per-view.
I know.
And if they're doing this as just a regular event, like a live show,
but calling it All In?
No, they're gonna fucking go balls to the walls with this thing.
They are.
Yeah. So it's they're either gonna
if they do that. That makes no sense.
Well, they'll either nix the Labor Day pay-per-view, or they'll push it a month, or or something else completely. I don't see them doing that so close to each other where it's like something's gonna suffer if they do it that way. Right.
But I'm not gonna again with the tweet and all
we'll see.
Attacking WWE Nick Khan, because that was a tweet. I'm like, come on, man. Why do you care? Why do you care so fucking much?
He's paranoid.
I'm talking to Nick Khan. I know he's not here. He's never gonna listen to me. But why do you care so much about what WWE does? If you just do your own fucking thing.
Tony's actually in the chat.
Is he? Well, good for him. If you do your own thing and quit worrying about what WWE does, my God, man.
Well,
actually, for me, it makes them look worse if they're constantly trying to take these. We all know take these little jabs constantly. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I get that annoyed, and that goes both ways. Like I get annoyed with any company doing that to the other one. It gets fucking bothersome.
The people that made Transmorphers taking jabs at Transformers.
You know what would make the wrestling business look really good? If WWE and AEW, they didn't work together, but they got the fuck along.
And just had they didn't have to have technically a working relationship, but it would be I've always wanted to see just fucking I'd love to see the wrestlers that are the top tier in WWE be able to wrestle the top tier wrestlers. Just fucking give me an AJ Styles Kenny Omega match. Just fucking randomly do it, please.
I'm telling you,
give me something.
The UK is going to be exploding pretty well, because obviously we got. I just checked the dates. Money in the Bank is July 1st, and then you have end of August. I mean, jeez.
So I mean, everybody. There's those. Why can't we all just enjoy wrestling? Well, I would if we didn't get this bickering with one side.
We can't all enjoy wrestling
Like,
because every part of wrestling is fucking hating each other,
Yep.
including massively the fan base.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The fan bases, and I don't know why there's fan bases.
Well, there's fan
In
base of wrestling.
wrestling, they're all the same, and Vince can call it fucking whatever the fuck he wants to call it. It's still fucking wrestling.
JP, there were fan bases for Raw and SmackDown when they did the initial brand split. And they're the same fucking company. Literally, the exact same company.
Yeah.
But anyway, on to more lighter news, and I do say lighter with the biggest fucking air quotes. Protests. Who doesn't love protests?
I love me a good protest. Just get in there, cook some brats and get some Truly and just whatever. What? I love me a good protest.
Are we talking about the same thing?
Yeah.
The Jordan Neely protests. What in the fuck is going on?
So
this is bound to happen.
it was bound to happen. Well, it's happened before. It's just Jordan Neely. He had some sort of mental illness or whatever, and I looked like, and I watched a little bit of the video. I didn't see the whole video, but apparently he was killed by a Marine who was choking him out.
Mm-hmm.
A U.S. veteran.
Yep.
Let me point that out. I don't want to say it was just a Marine on the side of the road just choking people out for shits and giggles like John Wayne Gacy.
That would be JP.
No, I wouldn't do that. I would never harm. I couldn't harm a fly. But anyway, just killed one the other day. But anyway,
I was gonna say, you killed like 4 the last summer.
killed 4. I apparently with my bare hand though.
Apparently, you don't remember this. You blacked out killing a fly.
But so that's what I got from the video.
Yep.
Where I don't have a problem with the video is it wasn't just him on the bus, because then another video came out that another guy was trying to subdue him. This guy just would not stop. And this was before he choked him out to the point where he killed him. So he was out of control. And it's not like he walked around with a goddamn label said that I have a mental illness. If I attack you, please don't harm me. Okay, motherfucker. I mean, it's a subway.
Sure, you attack me.
Right, no, 100%. So not everybody's going to know this. This is what people are getting upset about. Is that this Marine killed him because of that. Now, the problem is the Marine didn't need to kill him. He knew to show constraint, which tells me that this Marine has a mental illness.
Of his own.
Because if he was not, which is called PTSD, which is not, and I'm not saying he does, but why would a Marine choke somebody out that tried attacking them? What do you think that Marine's going to do? They are trained to kill people. Okay? He doesn't understand. I mean, he understands, but he killed him.
Boot camp is built to break you to build you back up.
Now, does that give him an excuse to do said thing?
No.
No, because he should know his surroundings. He shouldn't have killed him. But this is why you don't attack people. Because you never
Crazy
know.
concept, I know.
If you poke your ass out, you may never fucking wake up again.
I personally don't know if I don't think his intent was to kill him.
No.
But if you've ever been around somebody
that's
that
right.
is in like a public space that is going through like a mental break, there is a level of like fear because someone's unpredictability, and in this case, people were like, well, it's mental. Like they want to sugarcoat things and be like, he's mentally unwell. But people that are mentally unwell could be fucking. They could just be like fucking spouting gibberish. They could be doing something, or they can get like physical, or they can be like verbally abusive, but also like to the point where you don't know if the next step is going to be the end of your life. Someone gets in your face and starts talking shit, and you don't know. They're talking like you definitely know they're not right in the head.
Especially
At what point in time is like the time to take action? You can't take action when you're fucking dead already. So like a lot of the times this shit will happen, and people. The thing that kills me is like, I'm not even talking about like the prior charges for this guy or anything like that. In New York, the subway system is a fucking mess. The people there, it's filled with fucking mental illness left, right, and center.
Heather knows.
But like, but like the thing that I find hilarious, or not hilarious, but like sad, kind of, is I'm reading an article about it, and it's like, well, New Yorkers who are experiencing homelessness, living with mental illness, or just existing, and this is where they kind of bridge the gap. They say it's New Yorkers who are experiencing homelessness, living with mental illness, or just existing in the world as black and poor. Those two things are not the same. You can be black and poor, doesn't mean you're existing with mental illness and homelessness. Those are two very different concepts. You can't equate somebody who's mentally unwell with just skin color and a fucking financial state. The bottom line is, man, and I mean, if you if you want to go back to his rap sheet, he's only 30 years old and ended up fucking charged multiple times with. No, when I say multiple, it's not like 5, 6. It's 30 fucking times the shit that he's doing. He's a guy that probably shouldn't be on the street. That's the failure of the system.
He's locked up in a mental facility.
The guy that died.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the failure of the system.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when you fail your people and you put people in a situation that is literally unwinnable, and something tragic happens, you don't then get to play the race card.
No.
You don't. You as a city, you fucked up. And it just trying to pinpoint things as, the reason he was subdued wasn't because he was black.
I hate that term. The reason he was subdued. What? Say it again.
The reason he was fucking choked out wasn't because he was black. It was because he was fucking ranting and raving.
See, that was going to be my point. You see all these posts and the protests are,
police are the ones doing this.
I commented on that very same thing. It's not because he was black. It was because he was out of control, and the other guy reacted without, and I don't think he intended to kill him, and it happened.
It's like the scene in fucking what's the fucking movie with Jason Statham? The 22 Jump Street, where or 21 Jump Street, he punches the fucking black kid, and he's like, "Did you punch me because I'm black and gay?" No, I punched you, and you turned out to be black and gay.
Yeah.
So it's so the whole look. Nobody deserves. I said this with George.
Honestly.
Floyd.
Yeah, but there's like a group that exists, a very vocal group that exists that was just fucking waiting and slowly masturbating for the next George Floyd.
Yeah.
They just wanted it, and that's that group. Honestly, you're gonna stand in the fucking subway and dance, you should get run over. I'm not saying you stand in the subway. You stand on the tracks.
That was infuriating to see that.
Because you don't know the people on the person on the subway might be trying to it might be like a dire situation. And I saw this in people that protested on the highway where a woman came out and she's like, I'm fucking homeless and I get a job opportunity and you guys are stopping me from getting to that fucking job opportunity. You're basically ruining my life for some fucking bullshit and you don't care.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, and I'm going to say this right now, as a person who used to live in New York, anytime I went into the city, I saw just as many white homeless people as there were black homeless people. So homelessness is not a racial issue.
Honestly, majority of problems aren't racial issues. The world and the media wants you to believe that everything is a fucking race problem, and if they accomplish their goal, everything becomes a fucking race problem. But when you start pinpointing things left, right, and center, and I can tell you right now, the reaction of the world to the George Floyd incident versus this ain't gonna be anywhere close to the same.
No.
You went there, you did that, you played that card, and George Floyd was pretty much a piece of shit. But people wanted to turn him into the second coming of Jesus Christ. That ain't gonna happen with this guy either.
He was killed by the fentanyl that he took of his own volition.
And then they're like, I saw this thing where they're like arresting. I don't know. You know what? I can never tell. I'm not even gonna say it because I can never tell in these like tweets I see if it's fucking from this or something else.
Right.
But I saw like people getting arrested, and it was like a. It was black people getting arrested, and the person's just yelling, "I can't breathe! I can't breathe!" Just to get out of being arrested.
He's sitting up on the ground while getting arrested. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Shut the fuck up, you goddamn idiot.
Well, so yeah.
Yep.
Were you
Okay,
just talking about when JP tried to pick up a Cheerio earlier today?
Like Cam Newton. This is what?
No, that was
What?
stupid too.
His dreadlocks are the reason why he's not a quarterback for another team. Motherfucker, have you not watched Lamar fucking Jackson for the last 4 fucking years?
What?
I mean, his dreadlocks. I saw his hair, and I'm like, man, it's not a look you want to really continue with.
All I responded with is it has nothing to do with his dreadlocks. He's just not a very good quarterback. That's the issue. I hate these people that think just because they are black.
It's not me. It's
What if
everybody
I have
else.
Dreadlocks, or if I fucking have a penis sticking out of my fucking ass because
What?
I had it cut off because I'm transitioning into whatever the fuck I'm transitioning into.
Yeah, what are you?
Right?
Yeah.
Listen to the story, right?
I'm trying
It
to.
it doesn't fucking matter.
That story took a left turn at Albuquerque.
It did. I'm
Yeah.
just pointing out it's not because of who you are. It's because of your, and I'm talking about Cam Newton here or anybody that
His
gets beat up.
ability.
If you mouth off to somebody and they're trying to defend themselves and you end up crippled, don't get in nobody's fucking face.
Yeah.
And you won't have a problem.
Well, in this case, it's the fact that like somebody automatically gets like labeled with like the savior or the fucking. Oh, we're gonna idolize this person just because of the way they died. I'm like, all you fucking bitches out there, running down in the fucking subway and standing on the fucking everybody else's day up. You didn't give a shit about him when he was fucking mentally ill, dancing around like fucking Michael Jackson. Why the fuck do you care about him and his death? And this is like a problem I've had throughout my entire life where people, when something tragic happens, all of a sudden, it's like, oh my god, how could this have happened? And meanwhile, they're walking over fucking homeless people left, right, and center every day of their life. You're a fucking liar to yourself and everything you believe in. And you're probably a trash human being. So instead of dancing on the subway line, go get a fucking job, do something for people, and stop fucking everyone's day up.
I was hoping that they didn't turn the third rail off and somebody accidentally stepped on it.
Yeah.
So
So they
number
ran
one-
everybody over.
So number one, I'm never taking the subway ever again. And number two, I'll try to be better, basement. I promise.
You better.
He won't.
I'm sorry. I have to make light of it because it is literally funny. Yes, somebody died. You know what? I'm gonna say it. I've said it since my dad died. Everybody dies.
But,
Not-
Spoilers.
if you're gonna put yourself in a situation to be killed, you should then not go on to be idolized. Like honestly, like
100%.
it's the fuck around and find out. Like stop. And I get. Oh, he was mentally ill. Then why is he on the street? That's not fucking the guy. That's not the people around him's problem. They didn't get the decision to keep him, in a mental ward or not. That's the fucking city that failed you. Protest the government. Don't protest the subway. Everybody using the fucking subway's poor as shit, just trying to live.
Gas. They're gaslighting.
I vehemently hate the mental health excuse, and more so the. And I'm not saying like I shouldn't say like I like mental health doesn't exist. Oh, it fucking does. I have a diagnoses list the fucking as long as the Bible, but I hate the way it is easily a fucking shield or a checkbox when it comes to situations like this where it's like, oh, so and so had mental health issues. Oh well, then you fucking shrug your shoulders and moving on to the next day. Like no, Stop using that as a fucking excuse. Did he have mental health issues? Abso-fucking-lutely. That doesn't give him a right or excuse to do what the fuck he was doing and have this person step in and fucking do what needed to be done. I personally just hate the idea of like, well, it's clearly mental health. All right, moving on. Anyway, this dude, the Patriots sucked off everybody in the fucking team. What the fuck? What? No.
He came here and he skinned my child and wear his fucking skin and came in and had dinner with me, but he had mental health issues, so don't worry.
Coming up next to the
wasn't a
news,
big
here's
deal.
this cute dog in a Winnie the Pooh costume. Like, what the fuck?
It's just like the idea, like, and I agree with you on that. The idea that like any wrongdoing is acceptable because someone is mentally unwell.
Or it's a sliding of like the shifting of the blame. Like, I agree with you, like saying like, oh, it's not like like the government and other people should be held accountable. Yes, but like anybody's like, oh, he had mental health, and it's an instant like it's literally like a fucking hot potato. Whenever any, and I hate to say this too, but like in some cases, mass shootings are also in the same vein too of like, oh, he had mental health, and it's a fucking game of hot potato of like, where does the blame fall? And I hate that shit because it just it prevents I was just gonna say it prevents a dialogue and a conversation about whether it be individual cases or even a broader situation of like, hey, what the fuck's gonna what are we doing to stop situations like this from fucking happening again on a grander scale? And I fucking hate it.
It's just that like it's that stopping point where no more questions can be asked. And the thing that pisses me off with the mental health excuses, like there are treatments and options available to someone dealing with mental health problems. If you willingly ignore them, then you're gonna have fucking onus put on you too. Like, bottom line, it's like driving drunk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You made the option to drive drunk in your own body.
Yep.
The only other thing I'll mention too is, as far as the protesting in the subway, I am all in favor of peaceful protests and people having their voice heard and being respectful and whatnot. Fine, okay. Even if you have to ruffle maybe a few feathers in a light manner to get your point across, fine. Please enlighten me. Somebody listening to me out here, who I want to know what the outcome they thought was going to happen by fucking stopping the subway. What in God's name? And you know what? They did the same. Just for the record, something similar like this happened in Boston a few years ago, where people were fucking laying out in the middle of the fucking freeway, blocking people from getting to their job, just like Heather was mentioning earlier about like the frustration. Like, what in the fucking fuck do you honestly, logically think is going to happen? They're blocking the subway, we must acquire their demands and listen to what they have to say. No,
it's fucking retarded.
It's like a cult. They are sacrificing their body to prove a point.
It's a cult that's having a fucking oxygen deprivation.
The problem with protesting is, like, not only do they want to prove a point, they want to get support so that point moves forward. And if you do something that nobody likes and fucking nobody wants to be part of, and you're pissing everybody off, it's counterintuitive to what you're actually trying to do. People are gonna fucking dislike if I get held up for forever because somebody wants to protest about Jordan Neely being choked out, I am probably gonna lose my patience with the idea of that. Yes. Not just the idea that I'm fucking stuck on a subway, not being able to get to where I want to go.
I was about to say, I have never, in the history of ever, heard of a situation where someone's like, I was inconvenienced by this protest, so I stopped and listened to them and thought, wow, they really make a lot of fucking sense, and joined their cause. I have never heard of that actually being a fucking legitimate, tangible result. So it no matter what your message is, even if I completely agree with you, it fucking starts to crumble right beneath your feet, in my opinion.
I mean, I honestly don't think, for the most part, protesting works.
No, but I'm all in favor of people expressing themselves to an extent.
I agree with that, but like, I mean, legally, how protesting works is you actually get a lot of the space that you can protest in if you alert the government. If you don't, then you can be moved by police.
Protests.
But this is like why protesting makes no sense. because a lot of the protests are against like government institution, and you have to go through the government to protest. It's fucking stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous. So like protesting as a whole, and then like when people don't go through the government, all they do is piss everybody else off that doesn't give a flying shit about your problems.
And then
Yep.
the other
Because
thing,
most people don't.
because where they choose to protest, one, it's illegal to protest there, like in New York, and
Well,
most
it's the only way to get seen.
in most places in America, it is illegal for them to block traffic of any fucking kind to protest. So therefore, they're getting arrested for that shit no matter fucking what.
But this is the thing is like this is why a protest is fucking retarded, because if you do it legally, it's in a place nobody's gonna see it, nobody cares. If you do it illegally, you get press, but often it's bad press.
Yep.
So, it's built in a way that you're fucked no matter what you do.
That's what I'm saying. It's like even if you made the point of like, oh, this'll get X, even if like X result is a very small positive one, you could like still blow it out of proportion. But it's like there is no given circumstance or situation where I've ever heard a positive outcome come out of a protest in recent memory.
Most protests can be achieved online with a movement.
The women's movement was it can be a pretty good example of that. They
How long ago was that though?
right, no, but I'm saying you said
With the advent of the internet,
I found
online
In recent memory, I'm sorry. I in recent history, I can't think of. And you know what? I say that given full context of the writer's strike going on right now.
I saw but that's different. Like strikes are different than protests.
They are.
In my like a protest, I saw like maybe 20 people when I was going up to the hospital, protesting like pro-life or something, and it's like, okay, but like I see this every day when I load up Twitter. There's no difference to
True.
me. Like I don't know you. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but you know what? That location made sense
you
for them
know
to be protesting there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what I've seen in like my community that I grew up in, and Heather can vouch this, when we come up during election time, when we came up, you know where I'm going with
Oh
this.
God, yeah.
We would come into town, or right outside of town, people would literally put up signs
And hold up signs.
and
on
hold
the
up
fucking
signs
pedestrian bridge.
on the pedestrian bridge, because a bunch of them were bitches, on the fucking bridge coming into town.
The bridge bitch?
The bridge to Terabithia.
We were coming into town.
The Bridge of Trinidad.
Trump
God.
Trump needs to be in prison. I mean, I have never seen that. Like, there was no such thing as we're going to allow, and this is what I mean, and they're blocking people from getting to, people actually just wanting to go for a walk on the fucking bridge that was built for them to cross over the fucking highway of oncoming traffic.
And that bridge is close to the hospital too.
Yeah.
So some of the nurses walking across there to get to fucking work.
Yeah, but so and then they got the fucking Trump people in the town who pretty much whatever. But it's like around here, I have never seen, like, our fucking neighbor up the fucking street. He had a fucking flag.
Fuck Joe Biden's.
Fuck Joe Biden. And there was a big fucking flag right out in her front yard, and it said "fuck Joe Biden."
And guess what? That entire house is filled with black people.
Just
Racist.
saying. So, look. My point is just like, it's protests. They don't work, but they're becoming prominent because everybody can do them.
Yep.
But it's like,
if you're smart about it, you'll get your point across a lot fucking faster.
Yep.
Protesting someone for attacking other people and being killed for it makes no sense to me.
Agreed. How you doing, Mikhail?
I'm not saying that what the kid did was right, that killed Jordan Neely. But why are people defending somebody that attacked another person? And I know why, but I'm just this
Flavor of the week.
Welcome to 2023. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
I find the problem is nowadays, like after, like when they reintroduced fucking race relations into the world and like went crazy with it. Nowadays it's just used as like a point of contention to look away from what the actual problems are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It happens constantly where it's like the actual problem is homelessness and mental illness, not fucking one guy choking out another guy in the subway
But
because of the color of their skin.
you want to see a movie. There's a scene in Attack of the Clones
Mm-hmm.
where Padme and fucking Anakin are sitting in the fucking meadow and talking, and then she asked,
Oh, this is a scene that's the meme, isn't it?
yeah, she asked him, the whole, how are you going to, how would you do the politics thing? Because that's what Attack of the Clones is all about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I would have the people sit down and talk about it, right? Which is what
Should happen.
what should happen. But then the next thing he says, this is his belief.
I'll be right back.
His belief is, he says, I don't know if he truly believes this, but he said it with such conviction that we should sit down and talk about it, but somebody should make everybody decide. What does that sound like to you?
Dictatorship.
That's where North America is heading. Just
It's heading for
think about it.
socialism.
The United States is a constitutional republic as far as government goes. People say democracy. Yes, we use a form of democracy. We just don't use the democracy where we have to listen to one fucking person and one person only. We have to abide by his rules. That's dictatorship. That's
Well,
exactly.
I feel like every form of rule or like social system has been bastardized anyway. None of
Yeah.
it's at its core what it should have
No.
been or what it is. It's all to the point where it's been abused so heavily that no matter if you call it one thing or the other, it's actually something completely different. And it's usually an amalgamation of two different systems. And it works for nobody except for somebody that's super rich, usually.
You know,
Uh,
you know what I'm
yeah.
like right now? We're using big words. Amalgamation. Listen to that. That's
Said
your
it
lesson for today.
specifically for you.
Amalgamation. Today's episode of Sesame Street was sponsored by the word amalgamation.
Stop fucking me, Bert.
Amalgamation.
Why won't you look at me during, Bert?
Turn the lights off.
I 100% agree with what you're saying. It's just that if you think about, it's just the way things are going. Like the whole fucking, we got to take this Harry Sisson kid is fucking driving me fucking nuts.
The what?
He's like this Harry Sisson. Remember that kid that I said? Why do you gotta
Oh
yell?
yeah, yeah. This college kid who thinks he has the whole world fucking figured out.
He keeps fucking. He put out a tweet today. He says, "It's guns, guns, guns." I'm like, it's people, people, people.
A fucking cartoon can teach you that.
How can you sit here and tell me it's guns, guns, guns? If I just sit there and look at a gun, I can almost 100% guarantee you it's not going to do a fucking thing. It's just going to sit there.
I think
You
people
remember
like.
You remember
Yeah.
That's the
Look
gun.
at it. What they're doing.
And said, "Okay, now gun, kill," and it does nothing.
I love that joke.
The thing is, like, when people like, I wish people just came to the come to the conclusion that people are fucking flawed. Like, stop looking for perfection where there's no perfection to be had. People will do terrible things. They'll say terrible things.
Yes,
It's an acceptable truth. Accept the nature of mankind and stop trying to fucking fix it. But like the thing that is kind of related to this is the thing that Gina shared with you guys watched the what's his fucking face from Jaws.
What fucking nuts.
Oh, Dreyfus? Yes.
Yeah, Dreyfus. He's talking about like basically what I would.
You
Yeah,
got
what.
with the mouth about that fucking wide.
No.
No,
Yeah, Heather, go ahead.
it was a good scene. But anyway,
The new rules for acceptance for the Oscars for movies makes him want to puke.
Yeah. So the idea behind this is there is okay. So I'm just gonna call it racist because
Gonna need a bigger boat.
like I mean, if you're trying to combat racism with more racism, then you're fucking wrong, because the idea is you cannot basically you're not qualified to win an Oscar unless you appease this fucking arbitrary stat where you have a certain percentage of either the actors or the staff working behind the scene as people of color in some way, and it's like, man, so you basically, like, if you're gonna make a movie now, you have to diversity hire. If there's like 12 people making a fucking indie film,
Yeah.
and they're all fucking black people, they're gonna have to hire one Asian, no matter what. Like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. In order to be like qualified for an Oscar, you're forcing skin color to be considered.
Yes.
Where if you're gonna pinpoint skin color as the thing that makes you hire people, you
Which
are.
that's
Is that not racist?
Yeah. I'm like pretty sure.
listen, stop. When Basement's talking, Wendy, Heather's over here like, preach it, bitch.
I just love how he's like, well,
I'm
if
just
it,
basically, these new rules are gonna make it that we don't have new Oscar-worthy movies ever.
that's racist.
I can't wait till I see like 7 black Jews.
Well, it's like that joke from Leslie Nielsen. I'll have a black Russian. No.
This is Africa, except there's like half of the population is Chinese.
I brushed the range down in Africa.
No, I get it. It's like I for most roles I don't think race matters unless it's a race-related movie.
Agreed.
So why
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think you get Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Every occupation that is out there, hire the best person for the fucking job.
I don't think you can get
And the
Arnold
problem
Schwarzenegger.
is they'll be like, well, the best person for the job also has to be this color, therefore racism.
This next summer, Roots is getting a remake with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Kunta Kinte.
It's
Kunta Kinte.
You son of a bitch. I was doing so well.
My name is Kunta Kinte. Stop with the whip.
Here's a Slave, starring Ryan Gosling.
That's when he was hanging from the tree. The
Oh
fuck?
God! I'm about to whip you into shape.
Here's the thing.
5. I'd like to thank the Academy for my pivotal role in Roots too.
I don't think I honestly, yeah, I don't work in the industry, but I don't see. I never watching '90s movies. What was the problem? What was the problem?
Yeah, no.
No, the only problem I saw was that they didn't fucking really showcase Asian people or Indian people.
Yeah.
But then again, Asia had their own fucking Hollywood, and India. Like, so when are they gonna harp on Bollywood? Because it's all Indians. Where's everybody else?
Gandhi 2.
Back in the 90s, they made movies that were funny. They didn't give a shit who was.
They made movies that were like off the wall, but it was just like someone's cool idea. Fucking RoboCop, fucking Lethal Weapon had a black and white lead. Come on.
Exactly.
So the problem I have, and this is like WWE, they got in trouble for this. Like people are like memeing the shit. WWE's racist. Okay, motherfucker. So every time that fucking Roots was released, it's racist.
That's different.
Django Unchained is racist.
Well, there's a
Shawshank Redemption is racist.
there's a fundamental difference between the parts of the story being told versus we're gonna go ahead and do this storyline angle because and they have no like legitimate reason of it.
I mean, WWE was like Mad TV booking. It was
Yeah.
just like stereotypical shit, but that's wrestling.
That was the climate in the era too.
So
But wrestling is very stereotypical. It always has been.
My
The Russian bad guy, the fucking Iranian bad guy. It was very much.
name is
Jim
Vladimir.
Cornette-
Sorry for smiling.
Jim Cornette said it best, and I heard it this weekend. We didn't when Vince Russo was booking, he didn't book a show. He just watched Jerry Springer and said, "Hey, we're gonna do something like this." That's
You are not
exactly
the
what-
father, Bobby Lashley.
Father, you're not my daddy. What does he do?
That's the kind of shit they would do. But my point is,
Booker T, I'm your brother.
if WWE is racist, then every other fucking movie that has ever been released is racist.
Well, I just the thing I find is like the nitpicking.
I find that every movie will be racist if it has a white person in it. Even if
Like
it's black people.
Hold on.
So let me clarify something. I do think representation has its place because I like when kids unfortunately now learn about race when they're fucking 1 year old. Like it's good to see like someone like for me personally, I never really had that problem. I liked the character more than I liked the color of their skin. Always when I was a kid, but like I get the idea that not everybody is that way. So like, you know, you might want to look up to like I want like black heroes, I want Asian heroes. There's nothing really wrong with that. It's the way that they've gone about things of being like we're gonna hammer in a law that makes this happen. In the end, diversity in fucking film is actually just gonna make them more money. Hence, fucking Fast and Furious, who's made way more money than they needed to because of the diverse cast.
Right.
Yeah,
You need an Austrian.
Yeah.
he was in it.
But
Ah,
the problem is
do
like
it.
this idea of forced diversity hampers creative thought, which is at the core of good art. And I get what like Richard Dreyfuss was saying. He says it kind of weird because he's put on the spot. But I think if he had time to like think about it, it's basically saying, "You're telling me you can't let art be free because of some arbitrary idea of like forced inclusion." I mean, there's nothing saying that
It's
like
forced freedom.
it,
Weird. It's fucking oxymoronic, but that's forced freedom. Yeah.
It's the idea, like, yes, a black person can play a white character. Yes, a white person can play a black character.
Better be fucking
Just
free.
whatever. He goes on about like Othello and like blackface and stuff like that, and I feel like there's really no need for blackface. Personally, it's like there's a plethora of fucking good black actors. Just hire one of them.
Right.
But if
Yeah.
the character is not like intrinsically tied to their race, then hire anybody.
Right.
I'm reposing my lawful roots too.
So I have one more.
Broadway musical.
Go along the same lines about what we were just talking about because that's where it's going to go, not too far.
Yeah.
So the United States Army has decided, and again, I just found this out this weekend. The United States Army is now changing some army post names. I want you to Fort Gordon. I don't know who Fort Gordon is named after.
Sounds like the
There's
Swedish
somebody-
chef. Fort Gordon.
Gordon Ramsay.
Could be.
Idiot sandwich.
He was a famous Confederate general.
Fucking raw.
Fort Benning.
Yep.
Was
What are they
named-
renaming these things to?
Well, so Fort Gordon has not been changed yet.
But it
It
will
will
be.
be. Fort Benning will be renamed Fort Moore, and that will be named after. The fuck did they?
I feel like there's so many. You could do so many puns with Fort Moore.
The thing.
How many
that
more?
I
Fort
hate-
Moore. No, 4 more.
The one thing I hate about them, like anybody renaming like military shit, is the fact that a lot of like you're stripping away the identity and the bravery of the people involved in favor of like an ideal that the people didn't create that were in that war.
Yeah.
They fought for it because they had to fight for what the fucking upper government said, but they
Well-
are not the ideal that is.
Fort Hood is being renamed as Fort Cavazos. CAVA.
I mean, you're gonna tell me a bunch of these that mean absolutely nothing to
I
me,
will
but
tell you in a minute. Fort Pickett is named after Pickett's Charge. That's who that's named after. That is going to be named Fort Barfoot.
Much better.
OOT. Now, keep in mind, yes, it's funny because I laughed. Fort Polk.
that's why it's funny. I didn't.
That will be named after one of the generals. Okay.
I am laughing.
Fort Polk was named after one of the generals.
That's funny.
That is going to be renamed to Fort Johnson.
Oh, come
Johnson?
on. That's a classic.
Johnson, come on.
Hold on.
Yep.
Fort Rutger will be renamed as Fort Novosel. Okay.
Okay,
So
honestly, I don't know if you need to go through them all.
Fort Moore is being named after a couple, a married couple. One of them had to have something to do with the military,
Fort Moore.
exemplifying the service of modern military families. So they were a modern military family.
How many more? Fort Moore. Ah.
Fort Moore. And that one I kind of think has a lot to do with my job.
Way more bases? How about Fort Moore? Ah, all right. Yeah, that works.
Fort Bragg
Give me
is being
more.
renamed Fort Liberty, and of course is being named Fort Liberty for
More.
freedom. For liberty.
America! Fuck yeah!
Was a Confederate officer who had slaves.
Freedom is the only way, yeah.
Fort Hood is being renamed Fort Cavazos, who is named after. Just give me a second because I just seen it here.
No problem, senor.
Hey,
So
man.
he is a soldier, and again, I don't mind the name because as long as it has something to do with somebody that served the country and you know. So he was raised on a Texas ranch. He led a company of Puerto Rican soldiers during the Korean War.
Bad Bunny.
Correct. But he was Puerto Rican soldiers, if you don't know, can serve in the United States military. So he did something valiant for our country.
Yep.
Fine.
During the second most fucked up war.
Fort Pickett, and I know you were waiting for this one, because of who the name Fort Barfoot is being. Fort Barfoot, and I got to find it. Okay, just give me a second. It's being named after. Just give me a second.
Do, do,
So
do.
anyway, it's named after
Johnny Walker.
It was named after a soldier who did something exemplary. Won the Medal of Honor. Most of these people won Medals of Honor, which is the highest honor you can receive in the military. It doesn't matter if you're an E1 private, you're the lowest of low. If you receive a Medal of Honor, you are to be saluted by all military servicemen.
I mean, as far as what you said, I don't really mind.
Yeah.
No, so the only thing is, and I will say this, is the people are erasing history.
Yep.
To erase, they're erasing history because they don't want to remember the past.
But the thing is, like, okay,
So
erasing history is a huge problem.
I want to, and the reason that I brought this up is Fort Lee is named after General Robert E. Lee, who was the Confederate general in the
He switched sides, didn't he?
Huh?
He switched sides eventually.
No.
Didn't
He did not switch sides. He was a general in the West Point Army, which is where you go to become a general. Okay? If you don't know U.S. history, and I'm giving a little history lesson here, he was offered the 4-star position in charge of the Union Army during the Civil War. He only turned it down, not because he had slaves, but because he wanted to defend his country, or his homeland, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way that he could do that was by fighting the people that were trying to destroy his homeland. And I think everybody assumes he was fighting for states' rights. Yes, slavery was a part of the states' rights. I understand that. But not every state or every general that served in the United States military or served in was a Confederate soldier in the Civil War. How do I say this?
I know what you're saying. What you're saying is basically people want to look at history that don't understand because they can't, because they didn't live through it. They want to look at it like good and evil, black and white, and they want to they want to brush people with the same color, even though, like, I mean, there was people, there was fucking people in the German army that probably were fucking great people.
Yeah.
Attached to a bad cause.
The reason General Lee is so revered is he almost took down the Union Army, who outnumbered them. They had all the money, all the leadership, right? That man is so revered for his strategies of trying to defeat for a cause. So when I see these people protesting for things that make no sense, kind of the same thing to me.
Well, people stop judging people on their own merits and start applying them to a bigger cause because they don't understand humanity. Humanity's been fucking thrown aside because people are like, hey, it's not about the person, it's about the cause. Most people live their life not giving a fucking shit about most causes.
Yep.
And it's all about the person that you meet. And most people, like, it's like, man, I've been friends with fucking people from every culture known to mankind. And it doesn't really matter where they're from or what they're doing. It's like, can I get along with this person? Do we click in that way? Then, yeah, we'll be friends. I don't really give a shit about the rest. And most people are that way.
I don't think that, and I will say this: if you paid attention to history, if you know what I'm talking about, I know you're from Canada, Basement, but I'm sure you get some U.S. history. Robert E. Lee probably would have ended the Civil War if he was on the Union side, probably 2 to 3 years before it would have, if he was fighting for the North.
But that like, I mean, the comparison is basically like, look how much fucking, I mean, it's not really a good comparison, but like look how much fucking technology came out of Germany during the World War that benefited everybody in the world. Yeah, it's not spoken about because they were evil.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, the idea behind what they were doing was evil. Yes, it's a terrible thing, but like you can't
from it.
You can't just fucking fucking splatter everybody with the same paintbrush.
There's a giant gap in your history books, Germany, from your pamphlet here, from like 1937 to like 1945. Oh, we've all on vacation. Punch was served. Anyway, on our left. Like, no, there's a big thing. Nothing happened.
Robin Williams' joke of, why do you think there are not so many German comedians?
I love that.
You think you'd
kill them? Do you think?
I do feel like there is. I mean, like a while ago, I watched All Quiet on the Western Front, the Netflix one, and I was like, I'm glad to see like that some movies show a different perspective, even if it's from like the enemy's side. I mean, the enemy's side to them was someone else, so.
You have to, though. So here's the thing. I don't think it's a minority. So when people, and I have another thought pop in my head. That's why I did that. When it came to Germany, I don't think the German people actually hated Jews.
No, it was Hitler.
It was Hitler.
Indoctrination.
It's the government. This is what people don't fucking understand. It's the government. The government is the one that is dictating to these people.
But you also got a bunch of poor people and young kids that don't know what they're doing, and it's like, here's a job, here's money, and here's what is promised to be fucking you're gonna go down in the ages as the fucking warriors and shit like
Exactly. You're gonna be the hero. You're gonna be the one who
Mm.
saved Germany.
So
that. Back then, how much education did you really have? Let's be real.
Exactly.
so it's the government. It's not the people. I mean, I would have probably fought for my country. I mean,
But I mean,
what or wrong.
it's the same thing today. Like America's fucking done some fucking atrocities out there,
Yep.
and the bottom line is like you can write it that way, or you can write it in a way where our heroes died doing the best. You know, like in the end, I think it's very unfair to put it on the person because it's literally like a huge nation telling them to do something, and what you're gonna be the people, these fucking like protesters and these fucking like weirdos out there are gonna be like, yeah, I would fight against the machine. Like you'd be crumpled in 10 seconds. You don't realize that it's either go that way or don't go anyway. And
Either
it's
die to
like,
him or die to me.
every job I've worked, I see human nature, and people just fucking bow the knee to like if they're giving you something, then you will do what they say. For the most part, if I'm dependent on you for me living my life, like with money and you paying me, then I will probably do what you say. Yes, I
Sucking
will
on the
spread
teeth.
it
Whoop,
off
whoop,
every
whoop,
now
whoop.
and then, but like, I mean, there's only a certain people that will walk away from being able to live because of their morals.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
very,
yeah.
very minimum.
Yep, not wrong. I think that's all the stuff this time around, right? We good?
The only thing I have to add is that I saw this article where Jason Statham was like a fucking pro diver before he was a.
Oh yes. Because of that experience, it saved his life on this set of Expendables 3. I think. It was.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, when he was stuck in a fucking truck when it went over, like he was like
Roy,
fucking.
gonna get out of this fucking truck, Roy.
I might be butchering this, but I think he was like top 10 in the world at some point in time.
Shit.
It was.
So
Jason Statham.
what about him?
He was
He's
a diver.
Yeah,
Was he? He could
before he
go
was an actor.
in the middle of a goddamn horse race. I just know about that.
Say goddamn
That's all
twice in the same fucking sentence.
Goddamn.
I'll tell you what, Bobby boy.
Son of a bitch.
Oh man.
Connor, you still haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy?
No, I usually take my son to go with all the Marvel movies, and we were gonna go open the opening weekend, but work has just sucked my soul away this past week, getting ready for a lot of transition stuff.
I rely on you to tell me that it's good, so I know I'm going to be disappointed when I watch it.
I've heard. I mean, I take this with a grain of salt, obviously, but I've heard a lot of, obviously whenever Marvel movies come out, it's like a wave of positivity. One big thing that I've heard from a lot of people about this is that it is true to the narration of the Guardians, meaning that it's not like where does this fit in the bigger scope of the MCU. It is all focused on the Guardians.
Well, it's the final story.
Can I put up that player kid that runs around in a circle and
What the fuck is going on?
What the fuck is going on?
What I've heard about it at least is that it is like it does hit emotional beats and it is about them, but it's like somewhat bloated in terms of
Well, it's a 2.5 hour movie, so I mean, fucking.
well,
yeah.
like how they divide that time
Yeah, I've heard the same
between
thing too.
all the characters. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean,
But-
I'm looking forward to it because I like the other two.
A lot of people did say that it's like, hey, if you worried about James Gunn having the DCU, that even if this movie has its flaws, it's in good hands. Which I mean, that's kind of what I figured would be the case. Because I mean, hey, even the two Guardians movies so far that we've got out of him, flaws and all, were fucking fantastic. So
the thing I'm more interested about him being at the helm is like his like willingness to kind of like try things,
yeah,
which is gonna like
extremely out there to try things.
which is gonna lend itself to the other directors that are due to pretty much produce everything else.
By
except for
by the time we get to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which is in a couple weeks, I'll probably will have seen it, and I'll give you guys a idea-ish of how it is, and I will try to be very like grounded and down to earth, and I'll be like, "This is the best movie ever." I'm gonna try to be like open-minded and fair with it.
He's gonna show up on camera dressed like fucking
Rocket
Rocket.
Groot.
I'm gonna say this right now, considering it is James Gunn doing this movie still. I'm gonna say it's probably going to be the top Marvel movie we get this year.
I think even
probably. Yeah.
well, Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania, as you'll see when we review it in a few weeks, was all right. Wasn't Kang was obviously the fucking show stealer. Oh, quick little note on that, by the way. Fucking update on the whole Kang situation with fucking Jonathan Majors. So, as far as I can tell, Disney is still going to proceed forward with Majors as the role of Kang. However, they are quote unquote heavily monitoring the allegations and the situation and have a backup plan just in case.
My question is, if he gets into a point where he has to fight any of the women,
CGI?
are they going to show that?
Fucking asshole. We had to censor out a couple slaps here and there. But we'll cross that bridge
It's just
when we
like a
get
stand-in. That'd be great.
to it. Jesus.
Did you find that GIF yet?
No.
What the fuck
I
is
did not-
going on?
I did not find that GIF yet because we're wrapping up anyway. Yeah.
So I just want to say on that, that's exactly what I thought about reading. I read the synopsis. What the fuck is going on
With what?
in that movie?
In
I read.
Guardians?
Yes,
It's the final chapter.
It is all over the place.
It's going to be.
That's kind of what I heard. That it's like it has trouble like finding its through line as a movie, though there is like a lot of good to have. I think it's probably going to be on par with the second one. I don't think it'll
That's kind of-
recapture the first, but that's fine.
That's kind of the same vein I'm thinking of. I'm going there with like.
I'm hating it. I'm not saying I'm gonna hate it because they do. Guardians of the Galaxy is probably one of my favorite movies.
It is my fucking favorite MCU thing right now, considering how trashy they've done everything else.
You'll
But
be
a
all right.
hater.
We'll get there when we get there. But until then, are we good? I think we're going to wrap up this No Bucks Given. Good, solid show. Good, solid show once again. We got a lot of shit going on this week, so make sure you guys, if you haven't subscribed and liked, shared, comment, all that fun jazz, we got some really cool stuff coming at you. We've got, of course, tomorrow, we are wrapping up the finale of the Harry Potter Roundtable with part 2 of the Deathly Hallows. Looking forward to that. I was actually already talking to Heather in the chat before this, and then I'm like, I have questions, and we have a lot of interesting deep dive discussions to talk about that. And then Wednesday, probably more Sackboy, I'm assuming, most likely, and then I'm sure.
Likely.
Possibly, yeah.
And then, of course, Heather's almost there with Hogwarts. So fucking
Final
close.
screen. Yes.
So fucking close. And then we're going to be back here Friday for another Horny Goat general manager as we're doing the go home show to Money in the Bank. So a lot of cool stuff coming at you this week. So make sure you subscribe. A lot of fun jazz here and there. Basement, JP, Heather, any last minute tidbits before we wrap it up here?
I think I've spoken on everything. Olale. I think I've spoken on everything.
What the?
Olale.
Olale.
I think I've said
My
everything.
brain am not shutting down now.
I probably.
Motor skills.
There is one more thing,
God damn it.
and I saw on Twitter. It might not be true, but like I heard that Adam Driver might be fucking Mr. Fantastic.
Yes, he is the front runner for Mr. Fantastic, and I heard that Margot Robbie is the front runner for Sue Storm.
Don't like either of them, but I'm more along the lines of Adam Driver. Margot Robbie should not. She's fucking someone else already.
Oh, what? Harley?
Oh,
Yes.
That's DC.
I don't care. I don't want to see it.
The Johnny Cage character has been revealed. too.
Johnny Cage as Carl Urban. Terrible casting for me.
I agree. That he's more of a Kano.
First of all, he's 50 years old, and I don't want to see him fucking jumping around doing the splits.
By the way, side note, I would actually prefer Driver if you're gonna bring him in the MCU. Give him Doom.
CGI. They'll CGI.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Give him
If you're
Doom.
gonna do Drivers,
He'll have a lot of fun.
as far as
young Snape.
the person
Yes.
that I see Johnny Cage as, because it kind of fits with like the lower budget. I know it's not low budget, but lower budget Mortal Kombat.
Seth
Look at all the
Rogen?
people they had there, and nobody knew. No, the fucking guy from Top Gun with the douchebag face. I don't know his name,
Jonah Hill?
but no,
No.
Top
Oh,
Gun
I know who you're
Maverick.
talking
You know,
Oh.
like the guy that was like, he was like the best pilot, but he was also a fucking dickhead.
Pete Davidson.
No.
No,
God.
no.
I'm just throwing names at this point.
Hold on, hot second.
You guys know who I'm talking about, though, right? Like,
yes, I know who
He
you're
was the
actually
guy that was like, I want to be #1 to Maverick, but Maverick chose fucking Miles Teller.
He would be a perfect fit for Johnny Cage.
Because he's got a douchebag smile.
Yeah.
He looks like the fucking character.
He does.
And he's also probably affordable.
So, are you talking about his?
Yes.
You're not talking about Miles Teller. You're talking about
No.
Glenn Powell.
Well,
He's
maybe.
talking about Miles Teller.
Or are you
No,
talking
I'm not talking about Miles Teller. I'm talking about
You're
Glenn Powell.
about either Miles or Glenn Powell?
Not Miles Teller.
Lewis Pullen? I didn't say. I said Glenn Powell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, him.
I think Miles Teller would be better.
No, Miles
No,
Teller's
no,
got too much
no.
sad face.
But you know,
Mm.
If you watch Top Gun Maverick, it just works, man.
Joel McHale would work if he was young.
Yeah, and also at least this guy's fucking athletic.
I prefer
Carl
Glenn.
Urban's old as shit.
I prefer
I'm
Glenn.
telling you, man.
Miles
Glenn
could
is the
Miles could pull it off. I'm not saying he couldn't, but if I had to,
He's got sad face.
if
If
you
you
had-
see Whiplash,
if you
Jesus Christ.
if you had to put a gun to my head, I prefer Glenn, but I think Miles could pull it off too, personally.
I just don't get the like the douchebag superstardom. Glenn, that's basically the fucking guy himself, I think.
Hmm.
If you just take the character from Top Gun Maverick and put it in
We should-
fucking Mortal Kombat,
we should
it
do
would
some
work.
we should do some fantasy casting for a future episode of No Bucks Giving of future movies and films and stuff that we could have some fun with.
I
that
mean,
one.
for me, that's Johnny Cage. Carl Urban is a terrible fit, and like in my mind,
Ugh. Wait, who is it? Carl
I don't
Urban?
see it.
Yeah,
Carl Urban,
unless they're
fucking
doing
The
older
Boys.
Johnny Cage who's not actually gonna fight.
Why
Oh,
would you even
God,
include him if he's not
no.
gonna fight?
No.
Kill me.
No. Don't do
Kill me.
Carl.
I don't like it. I like Carl Urban. Don't get me
I
wrong.
do, yeah,
like
but
as an
not
actor,
no.
like everything he's done. Johnny Cage is so terrible choice. It's such a terrible choice. Look at the rest of the cast.
Gonna break your neck and shit down your throat.
The rest of the cast, like I said, he reminds me of Kano, the guy that played Kano.
Oh, yeah.
So why do I want that?
Yeah, no.
But
But I-
Adam Driver, Doctor Doom, I can see that.
Give
I
me
don't
Doom.
want to see him as Mr. Fantastic. I
No.
mean,
He could do it,
He's
but
got-
I wouldn't be interested.
I don't think he could.
Yeah.
you know what? He's
Adam Driver has the dryness that would go for Mr. Fantastic, but
all I'm gonna see is Snape. So,
Yeah.
and
Well, you know-
Margot Robbie, please God no.
You know what I want?
That's not
want-
for me.
You want to know what I want from Adam Driver?
Dick.
blowjob.
Just give me a good Kylo Ren. Okay, that's all I have.
Isn't he dead?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay,
You're sending me mixed messages.
No, he's dead.
I think his brain is giving him mixed messages. But anyway, on that note, I think we're gonna wrap it up
I want
here.
him to play it with a little more conviction. That's all. I'm saying.
Oh,
I thought it was the best thing about the first movie.
You said like the dryness
I
of
love that so much.
the dryness of Mr. Fantastic. I could just picture him like sitting down. He just discovered something. I just had sex. I'm about to eat nachos. This is the greatest day of my life.
I
But
just
anyway.
don't know how to do it.
But
This
any-
fucking voice just doesn't work for me.
You did it, Adam. I mean, Mr. Fantastic. All right.
On the page.
On that note, we'll wrap it up here on No Books Given. Thanks, y'all, for tuning in. Appreciate it as always. Check out the other stuff that we've already filmed this week, and make sure you guys come back for all the stuff I mentioned earlier. Of course, we got Hogwarts, No Books Given, HGGMO, more Sackboy, Hogwarts Roundtable, or sorry, Harry Potter Roundtable wrapping up tomorrow. So come back for that. Check us out on your favorite audio platform. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun jazz. And until then, we'll see you guys next time right here on the channel. Till then, peace out, bitches.
Nobody can see you.